7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 262. I'm your host, Travis. Welcome back into the TLR Coatings studio here, and we're going to wrap up the Daytona Supercross 2024. We have a full pack show here. We have our Worx 450 race recap. We've got our 50 Grafx 250 race recap. We've got our Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone. And we've got our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report, which is going to include a Holster Co. reload rant, as well as a couple of other things. The SMX schedule dropped, so we'll talk about that. And basically, we're going to cover all things moto from this weekend. Did you watch the GP race?
The Formula One?
No.
What?
Didn't-
MXGP?
yeah.
No, they start next weekend.
Oh, I thought they started
Formula
this
One
weekend.
race.
Never mind.
Formula One first race was this weekend.
Yes, I did see that. Looks boring as shit still from the highlights.
Max Verstappen.
Max
is just that
Verstappen, I can't wait for them to figure out
Is he
how...
that good or is the car better?
No, I can't wait for them to figure out how Red Bull is cheating.
good. Well, Christian Horner is cheating on his wife, but there's that.
Oh, well, you know, that doesn't
No,
surprise
he's
me
clear.
either. Anyway,
Whatever.
so we got a full pack show. Sitting across the table from me, usual co-host, Justin Cole. Hi, boys.
Oh, hey.
What's up, bitches?
Jesus. All right, tell us the story about the shirt here.
Oh, you want to know about the shirt?
You were very pumped about the shirt 30 seconds ago, so let Dirt Studios.
Dirt Studios.
Okay, what is Dirt Studios? I've heard it before.
Give me the Worx tagline real quick.
Always well hung, just like Cameron McAdoo.
I can't.
let it all hang out
Oh, boy.
with green balls. Is that literally from?
This is a legit McAdoo collab shirt with Dirt Studios.
Wow.
But I saw the Dirt Studios guy is pretty brilliant. He keeps doing all these like throwback shirts and shit.
Okay.
Do you remember this shirt back in the day?
No.
It's a No Fear shirt.
Ah. Okay.
Back in the day, No Fear had that hand of God kind of out there and
Yeah.
said you'll be needing these.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
yeah, sick.
Okay.
isn't it?
Well,
Well, that's pretty cool.
that's
You know,
cool,
this
man.
shirt's sweet.
I like how he's just leaning into it then.
Just lean into it.
Nah, I don't know. I would be on the podium, like leaning into it a little more.
I would too, but he's way too much of the
I think he's
Travis
trying- yeah.
Pastrana good
He's
guy.
way-
He's
way too
definitely,
concerned.
he's really, well, that's another
So-
thing too. He's really leaning into that good guy look.
Yeah,
Which
so
I mean, cool.
Good for him.
So anyway, all right. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. I just ran the numbers, which actually remind me I'll talk to you guys about that a little bit after the show here. For basically the first half of the season here.
And sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, baby, and
And
showing
growing
is
is showing.
growing.
Oh
Showing
my
is
God.
growing.
Showing is growing or
Yeah.
growing is showing?
I don't know. So I don't remember what we
The
said.
growing is showing.
We are growing though. We hit 10
Speaking of growing and
1,000
showing,
subscribers today.
That's awesome.
Yep. So thank you everyone who has been doing that. Thanks everyone who's tuned in to the live shows that I've been doing. Thanks to everyone who's been watching the race reactions here. Sorry if the live shows and everything yesterday was a little downer. It's been a long week. Had some personal family stuff going on, which we won't really get into here. And it was... I'm tired. So we've been doing what we can here. But we're trying to bring the energy here for the show itself. So... with that being said, again, I've kind of gone over all the sponsors, and we'll touch on them more as we go through the show here because they all have a different section and a different thing to really do and help us with here. So, first off, we're in the TLR Coatings studios here, as we've said. My TLR Coatings coating shop right there. So if you need custom powder coating, make sure to look them up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get started here. Opening ceremonies, because Cole's here.
let's go.
Go for it, man, because I don't have one.
No, you guys got to go first.
I don't have.
Hold on.
I don't have.
had one, and now I'm...
I don't have a song.
you go, because I'm blanking now on what I was just thinking here, because I just came up with one on the spot, and now I'm blanking. Go first. Go.
All right, well, I am going retroactive. I'm going to be Aaron Plessinger at Daytona.
Okay.
and I'm doing, Jerry was a race car driver. He drove so goddamn fast. You know what I'm talking about? Some Primus? I don't know.
I think it's Primus. Yeah.
I don't know. Jerry was a race car driver.
Okay.
AP.
Okay.
I don't have one. I seriously don't. Not this week.
Jerry was a race car
All
driver.
right.
Oh my god.
Well, in lieu of all the fiasco at the end of the race there last night, I'm gonna go with Ludacris "Move Bitch" for Jason Anderson.
Get out the way.
Yes.
I think
Because
you already
that was
used that one.
ridiculous. Huh?
Did you already use that
No.
one?
Mm-mm. No, we have brought it up for something when we were kind of spitballing, but I didn't bring it up for an opening ceremonies one.
Okay.
So we'll
yeah,
just
there was some chaos there. What do
Yeah.
you got? Come on.
I
know
don't
you
have
can
one,
come up
man.
with
I
one.
seriously
come on,
don't.
Give me
spit
a-
a song
give me a
out.
Lil
Spit
Wayne
a song
one.
out. We'll give you the rider.
What's the most recent song you listened to?
I don't know.
What you got a song you've listened to more than once within the last 2 weeks?
No.
I got a fun one. What if you did the Pink Panther theme song for either Tom Vialle or Dylan Ferrandis? I just feel like it's very
pretty
foreign.
French.
Yeah, very French. Like
I think that would be more Dylan than Tom.
I don't know, but I just think it would
No,
be
no.
very.
That
That
would be pretty good.
boy.
I think it'd be fun. If one of them leaned into it. So, all right.
How about a screamo song?
Oh, here we go.
A screamo song?
Like
Yeah.
some Asking Alexandria or something.
If I'm gonna go screamo, it's got to be ADTR. A Day to Remember.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
All
I
right.
like
What's
Asking
a
Alexandria.
pretty screamo-ish song they got though?
Uh,
They're fairly.
Yeah, I mean,
normal.
some of their older shit. Fuck. Now I'm thinking about it.
I think they should do The Downfall of Us All.
That is a great
Yes.
song.
And that's going to be for the whole rest of the 450 class.
Nah.
Because there's one guy I think that's breaking away a little
Oh, we're gonna get into
Oh,
this,
man.
buddy.
We're gonna
Don't
get-
you
we're gonna-
worry.
bit.
we're
Those guys are all going to be singing The Downfall of Us
No,
All.
we're gonna,
Don't you
we're gonna get
worry
into
here.
that, and I'm gonna have if we go down the road that
Are
I
you gonna
think that
cry?
it's no, it's gonna
Do
be
you
my
need
own.
some tissues?
It's
'Cause
gonna be
it's
my own.
okay.
It's gonna be my own rant if we go down the road that I think we're gonna go down.
We're
now.
probably
Yo.
going to. All right, so that's been your opening ceremonies here, courtesy of Cole. He's not really
I love that
sponsoring the
segment.
section,
I don't
but
know.
we only do it when Cole's here. So
I don't. The listeners, they seem to like that segment too.
yeah,
So.
yeah. No, I mean, I don't know that we necessarily
gold
have
star.
a bad segment here. Well, I'm getting a gold star today. Don't you fuckers worry.
Well, I'm getting a gold star because I picked Tom Vialle to win last week.
This is true
I'm thanking
too.
you for that.
Pull the
This
logs.
is true. This
Pull
is
the
true.
logs.
Pull the log.
I'm thanking you for that.
Hold on. Yep, you're right. All right, so let's
I was
jump
definitely
into
wrong
this.
on AP though.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, just like Cameron Sackadoo.
Let it all hang out.
He's going to hate us, dude, because he really, really
Speaking
hated
of
that.
growing and showing.
Oh, boy. All right, jumping into the 450s here. Did you guys watch my reaction show?
No.
No.
He caged the beast, baby.
Oh,
We caged the beast.
I don't know. That's a little far.
No way. Look, here's the thing. Here's
he did
the
cage
thing.
him though. He
Here's
did
the
cage him
thing.
in this round.
I heard this week. I don't remember what show. So whoever said this, apologies, but I totally agree. All that's been happening is we've been delaying the inevitable. This is what it's gonna be.
And we're gonna go down the road. that I
This
think
is
we're
what
gonna-
it's gonna be. Tell me I'm wrong.
Dude, are we okay? Are we gonna do this every time Jett wins a race?
I mean, okay.
Like,
Here's
so-
the thing.
oh,
It's
oh,
not just that he won a race.
But hold on,
we
hold on.
now have a 10-point
Hold-
lead.
hold on.
I mean, he's
hold on.
won 3
Listen,
races
listen.
and threw 1 away.
Listen. Are we gonna do this though every time? Like, let me go on my little rant. Are we
Okay,
gonna,
go for
Are
it.
we gonna do this every time Jett wins a race? Because
Reload
like,
rant.
and I'm gonna be very calm when I say this. I'm guilty of it because obviously I did this all through Stu's entire career, so I'm guilty of it. Nobody is not. When you have a
Can you imagine if we had the show when Stu was riding? Me and him
See,
yelling
I didn't
at
like
each other.
Stu until after he retired.
Well, and I was the
didn't
one.
like Stu either.
I was the odd man out because everybody was a Ricky homer, and I was a Stu fan, and I had been a Stu fan for a very, very long time. But everybody did this. Obviously, you can go back to the 80s when everybody did this with David Bailey and Ricky Johnson. Then the 90s with JMB and Stanton, and then Ricky, and then Stu.
what
and then
about
RV.
McGrath? You skipped him.
McGrath,
Disrespectful.
then RC, and then Stu, and then RV, and then like I understand when you have a favorite and somebody is very dominant, especially like Jett, a generational talent, a phenom, all the superlatives you can think of when you're talking about Jett. I get it, but I never really understood it when I was like during that time with Stu, why everybody would get annoyed when every time Stu would win by 30 seconds, people would get like pissed off at me. But now I get it. Like this is why people
Now I understand.
This is why people don't like, and I'm sure it's going to happen when Deegan, if he ever goes on a win streak or starts, finally living up to all the hype that he has had around
Which
him.
I think is coming also.
I get it, but do we really have to do this every time Jett wins a race? Like, hey, he killed it last night. He did something that nobody's done at Daytona to Eli, and we'll get to Eli and talk about it. I get it, but every time he wins a race, do we really have to go, oh, we've been delayed and we'll do this? Because for 2 times this year, we've talked about, oh, he's going to go on a streak now, and then he doesn't win the next weekend. And he does either because he wasn't, he had the issues with the mud race, or Glendale, he just wasn't fast enough, whatever. He won in Detroit, then Glendale, and then obviously he was leading last week, throws it away, a la Stu style. But do we really have to do this every time Jett wins a race? Like, yes, Jett could go into Birmingham this weekend, and he could win another race, and he could go on a roll. Or he could go to Birmingham and get 5th. Like, can we just analyze the race as it is and appreciate what he did, but we don't have to do this whole big thing of like, oh my God, he's going to finally do it? Because every time he wins, and then if he doesn't the next weekend, it just makes everybody look really fucking stupid.
So,
Like, am I wrong?
no,
I get your point for sure, but for me, and I'm cutting you off. I'm sliding right in
go
front of
ahead.
you.
Go ahead. I'll
bitch.
hold my tongue. I got it. It's fine.
I don't know, man. I just saw, and I'm not a Jett homer by any means, but yes, I did buy T-shirts because they're cool. Nobody else was doing the merch thing. It's cool to have in like 5 years from now. They'll be vintage someday.
Yeah, because we have the originals.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I don't know, man. I'm not a homer, but I just saw something different. Like his interviews and stuff were like, no, I'm here. I'm strictly business. I lost last week. Like this is what I did wrong, and I'm coming in. I'm winning this shit. Like strictly business, just fucking laser focused. He seemed, and it's like this whole week he was like, there's no distractions. I'm going in here and I'm kicking ass, and that's exactly what he did. Now, if he can turn that dial and keep doing it, again, theoretical, like you say, he hasn't been able to turn that dial week after
Not in
week.
Supercross yet. And
Not
I'm
in
saying
Supercross
eventually he
week.
won't. I'm not saying he won't.
I
mean, outdoors was easy for him.
Yeah.
in my
But here's the
opinion.
thing, though, and this was and we were just talking about with Eli and Daytona. But really, though, even though a lot of us, me included, thought Eli with the way he rode, and like I said, we'll get to Eli, but it's Daytona, bro. Does it really shock anybody of all the tracks, though, that he did this to? Like, that's the thing is, ultimately, I think in the end of Jett's career, he's going to win Supercross titles. We're going to look back and say he was actually a better outdoor guy because he has a lot more room to move around.
Yeah.
He can hop, skip, conserve energy, even though he was sketchy, just like everybody else last night was.
He was.
But it's
I
just
don't know,
like
he was getting through that one section good though. Did you?
yeah,
you'll-
and then,
you'll
was,
appreciate-
and then
you'll-
there was a few times though that they pan to the camera to him after they've been off for a while, and he's doing the same thing Eli.
Yeah. Well,
He's
then-
fucking bouncing off, trying to blitz
Well,
through.
he was figuring out how to blitz through it, but one thing was very Stu-esque, and you'll
Yeah.
appreciate it if you know what I'm talking about. But it was like the 3-5-3 at the end of it, and he went off the small one and just skimmed off the top like Stu would use
Yeah.
the forks and level the bike out and go across. And I was like, damn, that's sick.
Look, I just I'm kind of at the point that like, do we have to do this every time he wins? Like, yes, maybe he goes to Birmingham and he wins, and then he goes to Indy and he wins. But if he doesn't, what if he doesn't go to the Birmingham this weekend and
No,
he wins?
we don't have to do this every time.
Like, I do
because
it's just
eventually,
annoying.
eventually, it's going to level out, man. That's the thing. It's
I
like
don't know, man.
when-
He hasn't been perfect, and he's still got 3 wins, and he's ahead in the points still.
yeah,
so.
by double digits at this point.
and he's got the points lead, but it's not like, and he's even said this in an interview, this season has gone a lot different than he thought. He has the points lead by 10, and that's all that matters. But he only has one more win than the second place guy. My point is that I just don't think we have to do this every time he wins. We have to go, oh my God, because I saw a thing, I don't know who, it was on Vital. Somebody goes, oh, have we finally seen Jett unlock whatever? And I'm like, dude, he just went perfect season outdoors. Like, wouldn't you have thought that was like the cue that he's going to be really, really good? But it's also, Supercross is different than outdoors. Like I said, we could go to Birmingham. Eli rides like he did in Arlington, except the whole entire race, and fucking wins by 10 seconds too. I just don't want to do this every time Jett wins a race. We
get
go,
it.
oh my God, he's going to go on a streak, because if he doesn't, it makes the whole conversation look really fucking stupid on everybody's end. It's cool to talk about. It really is. And it makes our show look, it makes podcast worth it. But it's kind of one of those things, it's like, is it really worth going on the, oh my God, he's finally going to go on the run? Because when he doesn't.
But he brings up a good point. The interviews last night
They were
different.
They were different.
That's all fine
And
and dandy.
I actually sent Johnny and Coach a text, and I said, it's great that he won, and I'm pumped as a Jett guy that he won. But if this attitude is what it takes for him to win, it's going to be a boring decade.
It seems like
Did you
that.
see Eli's interview though? That was a lot different than anything else too.
We'll get into that too.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
We'll get into that too.
My thing is though, the way Eli rode last week, the attitude he had last week after the ride he had, which was kind of like, fuck these kids.
I think it was terrible last night, to be honest.
I
with you.
really thought
very good.
that, okay, if at any point Eli is going to step back in and say, I'm here to fuck, as Jace would say, I really thought it was going to be last night. We came off a great ride. We were in what are they calling it? Daytomac or something?
Yeah, I mean, some crazy stats. Like 7 out of the last 8 years. Brayton's fluke win.
Yeah.
And I saw another one that said Tomac wins 7. The rest of the field combined 0.
Uh-huh. So I really thought that, like, if we were going to see this at any point where he was going to step in and then the rest of the season was kind of going to be up in the air as it's been, last night would have set that off.
And we would have thought that.
And when Jett came out in that heat and did what he did, and I text you guys, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I wasn't holding my breath.
And you
off the
guys
heat.
were like, whoa, relax. And then, what was it, 15 minutes in, you sent a text, and you were like, this is a fucking ass whooping.
And it was. And this is not taking anything away from what Jett did last night.
And again, I'm not really here.
A lot of it came down to one section, though.
It did.
And Eli even knows, like, this is that VRM in him.
Yeah.
He didn't hit that quad.
But here's the thing.
And I think
dude.
his bike looked like shit, to be honest with you.
But here is the thing with the VRM and him knowing that. I'll tell you the same thing when I listened to the Starling interview about him with the LCQ a few weeks before. It ain't going to happen anymore, dude. When you get to that point in life and you've got the 3 kids and the money in the bank and whatever, there is a switch that turns that, and I said it last night on the reaction, and I'll say it again. When I was 20, I did not think twice about wheeling my motorcycle at 80 miles an hour between 2 cars going down the highway. At 35,
your frontal lobe developed.
My front lobe developed, and I don't even want to ride down the highway on my street bike anymore. So, like, these guys, yes, they're out there, and they are fast as hell on a motorcycle, and they're going to win races still and everything else. But when it comes down to it, they have that different. VRM, and it's different
when you get to that age.
Jett,
it's different.
So, like, I'm here to tell you, 10 out of 10 times from now on with Eli, when there's that section like that and it's sketchy, and he goes, well, if I hit this, I'll run with him, but if I don't, I won't. He isn't going to hit it. It just isn't going to happen. And he can say, oh, yeah, that's where I screwed up. That's where I screwed up. It isn't going to happen, man. I'm sorry. Your brain's developed now. Like, you're going to look at that and
he's
go,
got
nope.
way more to lose than what Jett does.
I guess I just can't look it with Eli, and it's me once again giving Eli all the credit that I can't go from what I saw in Arlington and we go to the normal Supercross track and be like, if he harnesses that, he's not going to win.
I'm not saying he won't win again.
And Daytona, and like I said, I just think last night he was pushing it, and then he was not committing to that section. The bike looked like shit. Back to Jett. I'm not taking anything. Jett, he annihilated last night. He looked great. He got sketchy just like everybody else did, but he obviously was least sketchy out of everybody else. He did something that we didn't think was going to happen anytime Eli rode Daytona. I just don't want to do this whole thing that every time he wins a fucking race, we go down this road of, oh my God, the streak's going to start now, and he's going to, because here's the thing, I don't agree he's ever going to do in Supercross what he does in outdoors. Now, can he reel off a couple wins in a row? Yes, for sure. 2, 3. But if we do this thing every time he wins just a race, this is the reason why there are the Jett haters. It's the same thing with everybody else. Like I said, I went through it with people that didn't like Stu. Ricky went through it with people that didn't like him. People went through it with people that didn't like RV. And same thing with Tomac. It's just every time a guy wins a race, if he doesn't win the next weekend, it's cool. It's fine. But to think that every time he wins, just because he wins a race, that all of a sudden he's going to start a streak, it's like, man, let's just give it a few rounds. Because, yes, he can go to Birmingham. But what if he doesn't? What happens if he goes this weekend and he just doesn't win? Because from all, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, boys, we're going to have a mutter this weekend.
Great.
It's supposed to fucking storm in Birmingham all fucking week.
Great. Just what I need.
4 mutters this year?
Like,
Jesus.
Friday night, they're going to get like, they're projecting like 3 inches of fucking rain Friday.
Wow.
And the tornado, probably.
Yeah, which is why we're fucking
Stadium
going.
won't be there when we
yeah,
get
so
there on
it's going to be,
Saturday.
it's going to be if it's not a full on mudfest, I'll be shocked.
Well, look, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't go on a streak. Maybe he does. All I know is, as Cole said multiple times, We're 8 rounds in. He's got 3 wins. He's had a couple of kind of just shit races, and we've got a 10-point lead.
Yep.
So
It looks good.
As up and down as he's been, everybody else has been more up and down. And man, it's
crazy.
I don't know.
If it's a mud race this weekend and he goes and gets fucking 9th, though,
Yeah.
that 10-point lead goes away.
I know the mud race is going to be another equalizer.
And then you go to a Triple Crown. So it's like, this is why I hold the horse. I just can't be definitive. Outside of Jett getting a 25-point lead, which I just don't think is going to happen.
No.
I can't be certain of anything.
Let me ask you this. So two questions for you. Number one, him putting, what did he put, 10, 12 seconds on him last night?
It was like 10, 11.
Does that get into the range of you, like, I guess, putting him on a level with, we'll call it Stu or Ricky or something? Because I know all summer you were kind of like, yeah, but he's not, like, dominating or whatever. Was last night a ride?
He got out front and proved a point.
It was very impressive.
Was last night a ride that
very
made
impressive.
you go, okay, this kid might have that. Okay, cool.
I never said he couldn't do it. He just doesn't do it.
I know, but that was a big catalyst between the two of us over the summer of like me being like, dude, he's just managing. You being like, yeah, but he'll never be on this level because of whatever.
No, it was very impressive.
So like last night I just wondered, okay.
Very impressive.
Oh crap! Now I lost my train of thought for the rest of it. I don't know. I guess number 2. What is the probability you think he wins this title at this point?
I mean, I think at this point, it's kind of like even Ricky and Stu said last night, though. Even back to fucking Kenny, like with the way the season's gone, you can't count it out. I mean, I think that right now, he's obviously going to be the favorite, but I still have to give it. It's not over 50%.
Yeah,
I'd probably like 45.
It's definitely slimmed down to a 4-horse race now. I feel.
Yeah, top 4 is all
I think it's like 4. I think it's 45%.
Okay.
Because once again, if it's a Mudda this weekend, that 10-point lead could go away, and he might not be the points leader afterwards.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So it's just one of those things that, like, with the way the season's gone, even though Jett has 3 wins, I almost feel like outside of him somehow getting a 25-point lead, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to know who the actual favorite is till we get to like Colorado, because once again, we have what could be a mud race this weekend. We certainly know that fucking Seattle could be a mud race, and then we have 2 Triple Crowns wedged in there, and then once again we still go to Philly and East Rutherford, which are outdoor races in the springtime.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it. God, knock on wood, I hope we don't have this. We could have 4 more mud races this year. And with the way the world is gone, with the way the East Coast has gotten all this rain, we could have 4 more mud races, which at that point, let's be real, Jett's not the favorite anymore.
What a boring season in that sense, dude.
If we have 4 mud races.
I was complaining yesterday.
Yeah, it's not saying that Jett rode phenomenal. He surprised and impressed the shit out of me, which that doesn't mean anything to anybody, but I don't want to do this thing every time he wins a race. We go on this thing where it's like, oh my God, he's going to go on a streak, because if he doesn't, it just makes the whole conversation look dumb.
I suppose. Like I said, I wasn't even really talking about streak. I just was basically delaying the inevitable of him getting a huge points lead and just winning this thing. So,
but at this point, 10 points to me is not a huge points lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like it.
I mean, a normal season without all this mud shit coming up, then yeah, I mean, I'd be.
Yeah. Can we talk about that before we move away from Jett? Can we talk about that start there with?
Dude, there are a lot of people that are pissed.
Why is that?
There are a lot of people that think the fact that he had 2 people up there. And I'm like,
I'm surprised there wasn't any protesting.
I mean, well,
I
think that there's people that are trying to look into the rule book on that whole thing. Which at that point, what are you going to do? Like,
I mean, here's the thing. Okay, the change in the tires is whatever. Okay, but my thing is you can. It's not MXGP, and then even in MXGP, can't I know the mechanics aren't really supposed to go to the gates, but don't those guys carry the bikes to the fucking gate?
Yeah.
So why would you not just change the wheel, pull the thing off, and
then
put
carry
the
it to
bike
the
in the gate?
Because they literally, every time they do, they go up there, and there's some people, some of the factory teams, they do front and rear. They have tire warmers on there, and they go do their sight lap, and then they change tires, and then
I can't believe that the temperature of the tire is a huge factor in Moto.
It makes that big of a difference.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
No
I'm
way.
telling you, dude, I don't know how good a spec tire is, but Hoosiers available to the public, I've never felt anything like it.
I think in the soft stuff, it means a little bit more or less, but I think when you start going to the hard pack tracks, especially outdoor stuff where it's like blue groove marbly, it means a lot. But I think in the soft stuff though, I think it's debate.
I think on that stuff, it's all with the grate. It's all about the start, but I mean, at first, when I first saw it, I was like, damn, that's smart. Why is nobody else doing it? And then as it kept going, I was like, oh, shit, maybe that wasn't super smart.
Dude.
I tell you
But
what,
dude,
though.
he barely got that thing off, spun it the wrong way. Lucky it didn't go in the chain.
Yeah.
Jett put that bitch in gear while he was pulling it out.
And Jett was kind of looking, but dude, I'm here to tell you, like, Jett was going whether his arm was out of the way or not. Like, sorry.
Well, a lot of
That could have been so bad.
could've been real
a
bad.
lot of our guys, like, they realize like how important that is, because remember that whole talk at the MX of Nations in 2018
Yeah.
where we weren't swapping tires and we and everybody else?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's like second nature to the GP guys. Like, they always swap tires and they always do tire warmers, and now you're seeing more of it, that it's like,
you wanna bet- you wanna
Well,
bet those-
nobody else on the grid did that, I think, except for the Honda boys, right?
Do you want to bet? Yeah, no. And the PC guys didn't go for a sight lap.
That was smart.
Do you
Turned out
want
to be
Yeah.
smart.
Do you want to bet that Honda does nothing but tire changes all week? Like,
Dude,
at the show?
honestly, man, I don't think Christian did anything wrong. I think it all came down to is the fact that they didn't get the whole shot device loaded up.
That is what really.
The whole
and I
shot
was
device
watching.
was
I saw
yeah.
that first.
Well, I'm watching that and I'm going and I'm looking at the board. I'm looking at the countdown
Yeah.
and I'm like, fuck, dude, they're gonna have to go with those forks unloaded.
Uh-huh.
Like, Jett's just gonna fucking go.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying
I
attention
didn't
to the
realize
fact.
the thing was on the tires.
Yeah, I
though.
was not paying.
no,
I'm like,
then I saw that and I went,
I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Yep. And then as he's trying to grab that off, and then you've got Starling's dad and another AMA guy. Get out of there! Get out of there! And
Dude.
Jett's like, bro, I hope your arm's out of the way because I'm going.
Well,
Bro.
and then the other part of it is he's still. I mean, that just shows you how good the electronics are, because he still dumped the clutch and still got a good start.
Yeah,
I mean,
top
kudos
five.
to
Oh,
him
those Honda
upstairs.
electronics. Those Honda electronics are next level.
That is, you make a good point though. Like, to get a top 5 start with that happening, because they did the same
Like,
thing
your
with
mind's
Anstey.
not focused going through the motions
Well,
they usually
Look
go
at
through.
Anstey. Anstey got a shit
I'll also
start because
tell-
they did the same thing.
Also here to tell you, even though I understand, like, I'm full on cable clutch guy, but I don't think that would have happened had that been a cable clutch.
Like that.
Just because of the like how much he's going in and out, disengage, re-engage. Whereas, like, obviously, you know, with a hydraulic clutch, like, it's either,
just gonna grab
It's
and
either
go.
one or the other. Like, dude, you're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna be loaded up, and that clutch is just gonna be fucking cranking. I don't think had that been a cable clutch, he would have got the start the way he did. But I don't think, dude, I was laughing when they went up and they were interviewing Christian in the pit, like when they were interviewing him in the mechanics lane.
Dude.
And this motherfucker sounds like he's about to have a heart. I mean, Christian's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm like, dude, get the camera
Yeah,
off that
yeah,
man.
I mean, I would
Get
be
that
shook
camera
too,
off
dude.
that
Like,
man.
if you
He
imagine,
Oh, dude, because I mean, think about it. If you're him, not only are you like, man, I almost just got my arm ripped off because he was going. Number 2, you're like, dude, I almost just got fired because I couldn't get his damn hole shot thing engaged, and then I would have left. The tire thing was still. Oh man, dude, that was just chaos. That was absolute
was.
chaos.
The love of Supercross forks.
I bet.
I bet they do some more like pit stop.
So I'll be
stuff.
honest too. I bet you the AMA and everybody looks at that and
They brush it under the rug. They don't give a shit.
Nope. I bet there's a change made in either timing afterwards, because the teams are going to say, "Hey, we don't want to have this happen." Because can you imagine what Honda's got to deal with if that happens and his arm's not out of the way and gets caught up in that wheel or something as Jett takes off? Because that's a Honda thing too, of like, what the hell are we doing? So I bet
Yeah,
the
it
teams
was-
go to the AMA and Feld and MX Sports and go, we want more time so we can do this. And I bet we see it a lot more, but I bet we have a little bit more time between sight lap and gate drop. And I bet you that
either way,
board
it was
doesn't go
fine.
up until everyone is cleared like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
To me, it's take the tire warmer off and carry the back tire to the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you got enough fucking people down there in the mechanics area and
Like-
down by
like
the
I
start.
said,
Like, what
I-
are you doing?
I bet this will be handled at an upper level compared to what we're even thinking. at
Yeah, and
this
the funny
point
thing is
to
like,
make time for it.
You don't think about that stuff, but it's like when it actually happens right in front of
Mm-hmm.
your face, you're like, wow, this is really fucking stupid.
Yep. So, okay. All right. So let's move on here. So Tomac gets second. Was he frying that clutch the whole time? Is that what that smoke was? Or,
I don't know. I used to think it was a Kawasaki thing, but I think it's just a Tomac thing.
yeah.
I mean, I think so too. And I think that dude, he got second, but I don't think he looked great. We obviously talked about the fact that his willingness to not quad into the rhythm after you come back across the start. Some of his line selections leading up to, like, what was it? Was it in the heat race or in the main where he just launches the wall coming out of
Yeah.
353? And I'm like,
I think it was
what
the
do you-
heat.
I'm like,
I
what?
think it
I'm
was
like,
Trying
I'm
to
like, what
be
the
like
point?
Stewart.
I'm like, what the point was that? Like, dude, like, you try to be Stu-esque, but there's like a backside, and there's like a whole point of you're just launching to flat. And then I also look at, dude, his bike, and it kind of goes down to what I think about was what happened in Detroit. Proving once again that Yamaha does not work well on the soft stuff. Like, you start looking at the hard pack shit, or once again, like Eli,
I
he's...
don't know, dude. I have a hard time believing that because last year he did fine on some of the soft stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it might
it's
be
not a
just
new
to what
bike.
they're... But it might be the fact of the way they have to adjust his chassis because of his Achilles tendon.
Well, that could be too.
Because I look at the way Detroit with that soft, and obviously, you're talking about tackiness soft, where there's not much give, where a sand soft, it can blow out, you can afford to make a little bit of mistakes. But, like, I still believe that, you go back to that Detroit ride, and I think that bike was squatting a little bit more, and it was putting a lot more load through his Achilles tendon. And I look at last night, and I'm like, dude, his bike, like, to me, it looked too squatted in places where it needed to get the pop out of the front end.
It was super interesting though.
Well, he rides that reverse chopper action.
Yeah, because the way they were talking about, like, well, maybe that shock is blown out and it's squirting stuff. And then if you watch it did kind of smoke more when he would squat it hard. And I'm like,
The
that'd
rear
be
end
super
of that
weird.
bike is so stiff. Like,
Yeah.
this sounds like I'm talking shit about Mathis, but Mathis is a big boy, right?
Yeah.
And that was the spring rate that he's running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So-
yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is like I said, Eli is so strong with his upper body, and he relies so much energy through that front end that I think a lot of the times, like, when that front end is not a little bit, like, once again, it's not sitting high, it's just that bike it's planning, and for most people, you'd be like, yeah, I want that bike to plant, and then
Yeah,
to
that's
pop
what
up
that
and out.
KYB stuff
With
does.
him, he needs that bike. He can't let it sit that low because then it's basically bottoming. And now
So-
he's, like, squatting too much, and dude, ruts, like, fucking now he's squatting, now it's grabbing the edge of the tire and the bike, and that's why you look at a lot of times like that fucking bike was going all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the KYB. Like, all the KYB stuff looks softer in the front. It must just have a lot of, like, a soft initial feel and then really hard, like, resistance
Bottom.
at the
Yeah.
bottom. Is that how KYB operates?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't
know?
know. I'm not
Because
a fan
we'll
of
get
KYB.
to the next guy, and his bike looked pretty similar.
I'm not a fan of KYB. I was always a fan of Showa, however you want.
I liked riding Yamaha. The KYB stuff felt pretty good.
I'm not saying the
but-
KYB stuff is not good. I've just always been more fan of the Showa.
I really need
internals.
to take more time with my stuff this summer and play with
Yeah,
it.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
play
dude,
with my
all
stuff a
that
little
shit's
more.
good. All that stuff is good now.
I tell you, I definitely like it better than my WP stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just, like I said, I just
Showa-
personally think
Showa or KYB.
You want to know who else likes it a lot better?
Oh, we'll get there.
I think his bike, when you start getting into the soft stuff, because like I said, dude, you look at Arlington last weekend, and once like the heart, it was tacky, but it started to pack, obviously, like it always does. And that I think his bike, it works better in the hard stuff, man. It just does. I think in any of that soft shit, I just don't think that bike. I don't know, and I think it's them Gilly having to move around with him being comfortable with the way his Achilles is. You know?
Yeah, I don't know, man, because like you say that bike's good in the hard stuff. He didn't look like himself in Glendale.
No, he didn't. No, you're right. You're right. I just from
It's
what
weird. It is weird. Like
It's such a strange season.
it's like the just because of his injury and like coming back from where he was, the goalpost keeps moving.
I really think that part of it too is just all of us talking heads overanalyzing it. Of like,
Probably.
bro, he was off the bike for 5 months.
Yeah.
He literally landed and just completely destroyed his leg, essentially.
Yeah,
So like,
I agree.
I mean,
All these other
I know
dudes went all year.
I know about coming back from a minor ankle breakage. How I felt when I got back on the bike, going, "Ooh, I'm not sure here and
I'll
there
just-
and everywhere."
Yeah,
so I
you're
can only
right, you're
imagine,
right.
you know.
I'll just say anybody that wants to know what I'm talking about in the main specifically, and I understand the face was starting to get packed in, so it was just really, really rutted up. The wall after the triple before the rollers. Go look at how squatted and bottomed his bike was, G'd out, going at the pocket, which is at the point that it's going to really start to like bottom out, and then it's going to lift a little bit backwards as you go up the face. Watch how squatted his bike was into the face as opposed to everybody else. Even Jett, we know Jett likes to run his stuff on the plush side because he's light on the bike. Look at how fucking far into the face Eli's bike was.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So speaking of KYB stuff, so Chase Sexton
Yeah,
gets
you hear
third.
about this?
Have you heard about this?
I heard something
Have you heard
secretive,
anything?
but I don't
Have you
really
heard
know that. I
anything?
don't
Do you know
really
anything?
that.
Do you know what's
So
happening?
did the bike look a little different to you?
I think he looked better. I don't know if I would say the bike.
He looked a little more confident,
I mean, he's
tossing
also
the bike
riding.
into ruts and stuff.
Also riding, apparently. Didn't
He
know he was.
also-
However, we did get a front end
I
tuck.
was gonna say he also took that front side.
Yeah.
When he did that, I literally screamed that at the TV.
I
was
thought
like,
of the
oh,
Moto
God.
Memes bingo card. Have you seen the Moto Memes
No,
bingo going
uh-uh.
around? So Moto Memes has this bingo card, and it's got all this random stuff in it. Like Sexton tucks the front end is like I3, and then it's Ricky says Quagmire.
Oh, Jesus.
Jett wins start to finish. Just all these random funny ass things. and that's on there. Sexton tucks the front.
Well, we definitely did last night, and that could probably be because we're on the same internals that we were on when we rode for Honda.
He had show us.
Oh, did he?
So
You look better though.
I was running KYB internals in the bike, and it looked a lot.
No. We're crazy.
Anyway,
Those are WP forks.
Yeah, whatever.
okay, whatever. But to branch off that here in a second, but the bike, it looked set up a lot like Tomac's.
Yeah.
Like it looked like the front end was a lot more plush and everything, which to me, I would like a front end like that because you know that thing's going to grab, but I want hold up when I'm hitting the hard stuff, which I think is the way Tomac stuff's set up. He looked 100% better, looked in the right direction, but to me, it's like, damn, how much pull does he have with the KTM group? Because Webb wanted 52 mil for or 48s. WP, they wouldn't even give them to him. Like, they butted heads. And Sexton's like, give me KYB internals. Like, and I'm going to work with my own trainer. I'm doing all this shit. And they're letting it fly.
Well, when you go paying a guy a lot of fucking money to get him away, to leave from Honda, when he's coming from Honda and he's like supposed to be the next coming.
I don't know, man. It's just weird to me that Webb won him 2 championships and probably could have won him a third, and they didn't want to work with him.
I think that relationship was just so fractured, though. They didn't give a shit. You guys hear, though, that he's, people keep trying to float this thing that he's riding at the Baker's factory now?
Who?
Chase.
I have
don't
not
know. We'll
heard
see.
that
Yeah.
yet, but as far as
Probably bouncing
as
around,
far as
but-
the Webb thing goes, it is funny because he wanted those, and now that's all you can run if you're riding any sort of Austrian thing is the 48s. Have you heard? Did you hear the thing that? So we all heard that he went and bought his own bike, right? Because last year, because he wanted to ride a stock bike or whatever. Yeah, Webb. He didn't just buy his own
He's on
bike.
GNCC shit.
He bought his own bike and took it apart and took the frame in and told him build the bike around this fucking frame. Because he didn't want the factory frames anymore.
Build the bike around this frame.
Around a stock
An
off the
OEM
showroom
frame.
floor frame. Mm-hmm.
Took that into KTM.
Well, yeah, fucking the factory.
And told him I don't want the factory frame anymore. I want this.
The factory frames, they're fucking gusseting and fucking, they're
Well, because
making
he
them
went and
super
rode
rigid.
stock bikes and shit and like that.
He
Well, you
did.
you look at Coop, you're like, why the hell would you want a stiff ass frame? Coop's not that guy.
Yep.
Coop
So-
wants a
And they
bike,
didn't
wants a bike
listen
that
to him?
flex.
No. They were pissed.
Coop wants a bike that's gonna flex.
They were pissed.
You would think that they'd want him to ride what comes off the showroom floor.
I mean, you would think.
Dude, they're
it's so weird
confusing
over
to
there.
me, man.
It's so weird over
That
there
is
with
weird.
everything that's happening.
I think these factories have gotten to the point that even though these bikes are so good, they're starting at the point that they're like too big for their own britches.
So
don't wanna
anyway,
listen to
they're
anybody.
starting to get to where like, oh, these things are good enough off the showroom floor. Let's dial the suspension
Which
in.
is funny because, we always talk about Formula One, but you talk about these other teams, and obviously they have certain restrictions. There's a lot more money involved but they will do anything for their drivers to try to get their cars
That's what I'm
all the way
saying.
down to the stupid fucking steering wheel difference on the electronic being over here as opposed to over here. Whereas I feel like our sport, the teams are like,
No, we
yeah,
know
no,
it's
fuck
better.
You. Yeah, no, fuck you guys.
Well, they're even.
off topic.
They're
But yeah,
even-
you want to pay your guys all these money, but yet if they want something, you're not willing to give it. Like, what the hell is
Yeah,
wrong?
so I assume you saw the same post I did, where not only were they talking
Like
about
the
the
Michael
KYB, the KYB forks, they also have rubber-mounted handlebar things now.
And they had the KYB low.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about on the bar mounts?
Yeah,
They actually went. They put rubbers in there.
they went back to rubbers instead of the stiff mounts. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's fucking smart because we did the same thing. We put metal inserts and shit, and we realized that was fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
well, don't worry. They've gone back now, but yes, and
They look
and they
cool.
don't want to admit it.
Bike
Yeah.
look better.
I mean, he
I mean,
looks
they're
better,
listening
but
and he
part of
look
it,
better.
part of it too is how's the the hand's got to be better.
what he said, like 80, he's like 85%.
Yeah, which he was still shaking out after that heat, but
Yeah,
he looked
well-
better yesterday. He was more froggy.
Yeah,
so.
Last thing I'll say that's a little off topic before I got another comment about Chase here, but
Yeah.
dude, if I had a shitload of money or if I could pull in an outside sponsor or something, I'd salary 3 guys and I'd say go ride all the bikes, pick which one you fucking want, and we're gonna build that bike around you. Mm-hmm. Like fuck the factory stuff. Like,
No, I'd go hire Ziggy and go off his shit.
okay, or
Ziggy would be the first person I'd give him a call about chassis stuff.
I'd call that Ricky Gilmore guy.
Who?
Gilmore.
Gilly.
Oh well, I mean, I don't think he.
I don't know. Either way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I'd assemble a squad and then just, dude, like I'd go hire Austin Fortner and I'd say, which bike do you want to ride in the 450 class?
Yep.
He'll go ride them all. Start with a base setting. Come in. Okay, I want the green one. I'm sticking with a Cowie. call up Mitch Payton. Mitch Payton ain't going to give you no deals or anything probably, but you're going to build a Mitch Payton bike for the guy off the shelf privateer stuff. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can work a deal out with the factory and be like, hey, I just want this part and this part, something like that. Just depends on the sponsorship money, right?
The funny thing is we're seeing this right now with Ferrandis. Of like off the shelf shit, basically. Yeah,
Dude,
Kenny.
I so
like Reed was the first guy that really blazed the trail, and he looked better than anybody I'd ever seen.
I so wish we had a guy. I mean, I know that there's been the Mike Genovas of the world, and obviously we're seeing it, like you said, with Dylan, and then we're also seeing it with the Firepower team with Yuriv Konsky, and then when Muckoff and if I'm correct, I think Yuriv was actually the Muckoff guy when it was Mitchell and Clout when they came over and Brayton or whatever, but. I so wish, and I keep going back to Formula One, but I base everything off. I so wish we had a guy like what Lawrence Stroll did with Aston Martin. But once again, we talk about how our sport is different, and they don't want people to get ahead. That as long if you don't have a connection to the OEMs.
Well, look, there's one guy that can do it, and I don't think he'll do it.
Who's that?
And that's Deegan. If he goes to a 450, he could bring in enough sponsors to put his own truck there and do whatever the fuck he wants.
I feel like I would like to agree with you. I'd like to agree with you. But I think even with as much pull as Deegan has and the fan base behind him, I think that our sport still, and we talk about this, and I'm not going to go on a rant, but like nobody wants it to grow. The OEMs in our sport work different. They'd figure out a way to halt that because they don't want it to look like they don't know best.
The problem is going to be though is the more
factory support,
and
whatever brand he picks.
like you said, Reed came in and did it. The more Kennys, Dylans, and Reeds that we have that go off these factory teams to another bike and still basically either maintain the same or are better, the harder it's going to be for these OEMs to maintain control, essentially, because the guys are going to be like, F you. And we saw it last year with Coop. Look at what Coop was doing. Coop was like, I don't want to ride your fucking factory parts.
I think
all the factories need to do is just step up and do like a lease program.
Just like NASCAR.
I think as much as I hate to say it, I think the only way we'll ever get to the point that all of this actually works, which I would love to see it. I think it'd be great because, like I said, I talk about the Formula One model with Lawrence Stroll.
The NASCAR model is the same way where
a guy has to win. A guy has to win a championship.
We're off the rails.
If a guy, but like I think this stuff is like it's good to talk about though because it kind of shows the flaws that we have in our own sport.
Hey, well, Sexton is an example of the flaws.
But if you have a guy win a championship, you can't deny him anymore. If you were to have a guy go,
we had that too.
What?
We've had that too. Roczen did it with RCH.
Yeah, but you had support from Ricky, and Suzuki was still doing. I mean,
Chad Reed was 3 points out on his own bike.
But you know what I'm saying, though? If you have a guy that goes in to win a championship, you can't deny it anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, but Sexton did look a lot better last night. He was froggy. I like the fact that we got the big three starting 1, 2, 3 in that main last night, basically, and we were all like, okay, cool. Now we're set up. Like nobody can say I got a shit start, had to come through. They all were just there. And,
well, here's my last point about Sexton.
Okay.
How many times is he just going to pull over and let Jett by?
Well, that's what happens when you're scared of him.
Like,
when do we think that if he's 85% right now, when do we think he's going to be 100%?
Nah, 2 more rounds.
So Seattle.
I think he'll be get through that Triple Crown.
That depends.
What do you mean?
Do you think he's going to beat Jett in the next 2 to 3 rounds?
I think he wins.
I mean, he might beat him if it's a butter.
Yeah, I think he wins a Triple Crown round.
I think he could too, yeah. I think the next 2 rounds, if Birmingham's a mutter and he's obviously like, if he gets a start in the Triple Crown and it's 12-minute mains, like he could sprint away. I mean, for sure, I think he could. It just depends.
I mean, I'll be honest. If he doesn't start winning here, I think that wrist or whatever hand turns into a thing for the whole year.
No.
The problem is that I don't think
as to why we're not winning.
I think that it's. I don't disagree with you, but I think it's really hard to hold on to that when you lead the main and you look pretty damn good for a few laps, and then you actually go out and tell the whole world that, I'm at 85%. I understand.
I mean, that first part of the main was like, oh, this is old Sexton. He's sprinting away a little bit, and I think maybe he ran out of steam a little bit.
He either ran out of steam or that hand got sore, which
you look
again
at
is what we're going to hear the rest of the year if he doesn't win.
Because you look at his lap times at the beginning of the main, like his fastest lap wasn't close, but you look at his lap times at the beginning of the main before he started to stall out, like they were consistent all the way across the board.
All it takes is an AC style.
Tell you what, he let Jett by. Jett put his gap on, and then I was watching it, and I was like, dude, if this was last year before Jett was around, this would be a fucking hell of a race.
I really,
it took Tomac a long time to get him, which is impressive.
What I don't like is, and I'm all for showmanship, sportsmanship, be respectful to your competitors. I really don't like the fact that Jett and Chase were dapping each other up after the race. Like, Chase, this is supposed to be the guy.
What about Jett's abs?
Hey,
I don't give a fuck about Jett's abs.
They were great.
Let me see your abs.
I don't have abs.
They were great. They were great.
They were washboard,
nice V
dude.
shape. Yep, that was nice. That was nice. He's
How
doing
did-
good work.
How
man.
did we?
You think he had 9 whoops?
How did we get a? Anyways,
But let me tell you this: you're gonna see that until Deegan gets into the 450 class. He is our bad guy.
I don't need a
He
bad.
is not. He is not bad guy.
I don't
He
need a
is
bad. I don't
guy.
need. I don't need a bad guy. I just don't.
Oh,
I
we
don't-
need a bad guy.
It's
don't-
just it's because you just, and I'm kind of on the edge in the middle. You just saw the prime of Ricky, Chad, and James, where they were just on a fucking island. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that mentality.
I mean, you got to alienate yourself to be good, but that's just not a thing anymore. These guys all got 3-4
Well,
guys.
that's
at their
why a lot of these
compound
guys are
and-
soft.
Like I said,
Jett did seem a little more alien-like when he's like, "I'm business," though.
like I said, you're not gonna see anything different other than guys being like, "Yeah, man, great job," you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Until you get Deegan in there.
Respect your-
Eli's the last of that breed.
Respect your competitors.
Because hold on, I heard this week. Maybe you heard it. I heard that Deegan went up to Dazzy, old man Deegan went up to Dazzy at the end of last year, and said, "Hey man, you know, great season. No hard feelings.
We're coming for you.
Well, no hard feelings on."
That would be hilarious.
We're coming for you.
He was like, no hard feelings on, you know, stuff that was said on the podium at the press conference. You know, just how do you want to put it? Pro wrestling, essentially,
Yeah.
whatever. You know,
It's just the show.
And I guess Dazzy looked at him and said, "Yeah, fucking right." So,
Oh, they got beef already?
it's building, and we
Who's
won't.
Haiden gonna have beef with though?
Who are you hearing this from, though?
Somebody said it in a podcast this week. Maybe it was Mathis that said, yeah, he heard on good sources that Deegan went to Dazzy at the end of last season and told him, "Hey man, like no hard feelings, like
We're just putting on a
nothing
show."
personal. Yeah, we're just, you know, just it is what it is. It's a show, you know, whatever." And yeah, I guess Dazzy was like, "Yeah, get fucked."
Who's gonna? Who? But here's the thing though. Who's Haiden gonna have beef with? Because he's never gonna be on Jett's level,
Dude, they're gonna
and Hunt like who?
he is gonna
Was he gonna be-
make
beef with Max
comments.
Boland?
He is gonna make comments and mind games towards them.
Yeah, it's
their
probably the Hunter
entire
thing. Like,
career.
I'm the American or whatever.
He'll
like he
go
was
after
doing,
both
you know?
of them, guaranteed. He is set.
I don't think going after Jett would be a smart
This
idea.
is setting up
He'll
to be
do
the
it, though.
same thing as Jett. Not so. I'm not even gonna say Hunter, but Jett is gonna be the Travis Pastrana, and you're gonna have Deegan be the D's.
I'll tell you what though.
it's just like freestyle.
I'll
back
tell-
then,
I'll
man.
tell
That's
you-
exactly what it's gonna
I'll
be.
tell you what though.
The Brian blueprint.
I honestly feel like Jett. Give him a couple more years though, especially if he.
Save it for halftime.
I feel like that whole good guy look though might start changing a little bit.
I don't think. I don't think it's gonna change. I don't because
I think
the way he
his
acted
comments
last
are getting
night-
a little bit more.
The way he acted last night made me go, yeah, he really doesn't like the fact that people talk shit, so he's getting robotic with his interviews here because he doesn't want to deal with that.
I don't know.
Jett.
Some of his comments though that he makes.
I don't know. I think he's thrown 2 away on the last lap this year.
Yeah,
so.
maybe. I don't know. So, all right, let's move on here. So, Cooper Webb, 4th. How about that crazy stat of in 6 times he's never been off the box?
Didn't realize that.
I'd said this last week. I was like, he should have 2 wins on the KTM. McElrath boned him.
Yep.
Johnny Sins boned him.
Wow. Wow.
And then the next year on the bike that he said sucked and didn't like, he led that race until late too.
Yeah. So,
Like he was always sneaky good at Daytona. Did he have a shit start last night? Or
I
what
don't know.
was the
He's
deal?
kind of irrelevant, though, all day.
Starter wasn't great.
He was. He did. And I was watching it. I was like, oh, take Jett, Tomac, and Sexton out of the mix. It's like 2 years ago where Webb's getting Roczen on the last lap.
So yeah, I mean, 4th place isn't crazy,
Just
and
quiet
he's
night
still
from him.
in 2nd in the points, and like he's there, but
He's still latched on. He's
I
still
mean,
a gamer.
Even though
Yeah.
he's been great at Daytona over the last since 2018, like nobody really expected him to win, and it's like, dude, he got out of there without losing a bunch of points. So it's like we get back to normal Supercross. Like I expect him to go back to doing what he's been doing all year. So like he's going to be fine. Like
Yeah.
I said, anybody that honestly thought that Coop was going to win Daytona, you probably need to get your.
I mean, it
hand
wouldn't surprise me, but
He's always been good.
He's been good, but he also has never won.
It's not Arlington.
No.
Nah, exactly.
All right. So Ken Roczen 5th. Whew. In that heat race, I went, well, Kenny showed up tonight because
He always does that in
day.
Daytona though.
That was, dude. Him
I also think
blitzing,
Chase though was really going to put pressure on him had he not tucked the front in that heat race.
probably, but him blitzing that rhythm section, dude, because I know that like Tomac and Jett kind of blitzed it also, but Kenny just blitzed it in such a more graceful way.
That's just
of
Kenny,
like
though.
floating that front end through there. I mean, literally, all I could hear was your voice going, and Kenny's just blitzing through the rhythm section, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah, what was
shit.
it like with 2 laps to go or 3 laps to go? He goes over the fucking tunnel, and like I caught the tail end of it. I was looking something, I caught the tail of it, and he just fucking clips the top and absorbs with the rear. And I'm like, did Kenny just fucking wheel tap the tunnel
100%.
jump? What the fuck?
I mean, he was blitzing that rhythm section like it was fucking whoops, dude.
Yeah.
22 foot apart whoops.
Who
it was
says
nuts.
that Suzuki doesn't handle like a dream?
Yeah, it was
I don't know,
awesome.
they're all good nowadays.
Yeah.
It's funny. He was like, "Yeah, I pulled in the clutch, kept the bike running."
But 5th place, okay. I mean, again, he's just going to be right there, I think, all
I think
season.
this is kind of who he is now. 4th, 5th, can squeak out a win like he did. I mean, Glendale, he was on.
He was.
He didn't put a tire wrong.
I mean, here's the thing. He gets another star like he did at Glendale. Any of these rounds moving forward, I think he does the same thing.
Yeah.
I think I don't really.
It won't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't really care outside of like Jett or Eli literally being on his rear wheel right at the beginning. I don't think it'll really matter because once again, we always talk about like this overused phrase that like fast twitch. Like Kenny's just gonna send it, and now he's gotten to the point that he can like keep that going through the 20+1, whereas like in the years past he like blew out in 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, dude, he gets another star like he did at Glendale. He's probably gonna win the race.
Yep. Justin Cooper, 6th.
Didn't have that on my bingo card.
the Cooper one.
Yeah.
Jake Coop,
I had that. He got.
you
that.
had him catching Kenny. He caught Kenny.
I mean, he did that shit last year at Daytona. Remember?
But did you have him catching Kenny?
He was
like
one,
if he would have
1 second behind.
If he would have
I don't
started
know,
in front of
dude.
Kenny, I'd have been like, okay. But that's why I had to put that. I'm like, I didn't have Jay Coop on a bingo card catching
Dude,
Kenny.
Jay
He
Coop,
caught him.
He's the new Brock Tickle.
He's gonna build and
Oh,
build
I think
and
he's
build
going to be
here.
better than Brock Tickle.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's.
By
Dude,
the-
he's going to be.
By the end of the season here, he could be a podium threat, man. Because
I mean, he
he's
showed
good.
speed in practice, like the whole 9.
Like his biggest thing is he needs to. Right now, he's got it. He's got the speed. He's got the 1 lap heaters in practice, so he puts himself in a good position for qualifying or for the heat race.
Yep.
He's got the consistency of getting through the heat race. His biggest thing now is he just needs to get starts in the main.
Yeah,
Because I'm here to tell you, I agree with that fully. He gets started in the main. I don't care where it is or what it is.
he'll be in the mix, I think.
And I even believe you fast forward 2 weeks from now at Indy, like he gets to start one of those Triple Crowns. Dude, we could be looking at a J. Coop main win,
Which
Also,
which
wild.
nobody called that shit.
there's another thing he needs to switch up.
oh boy,
Get the man a different hat.
Why? Oh,
Hey guys,
he's got
come
Louis,
on, put the hat on normal.
He's got Louis bag.
well, I mean, his neck moves to the left, so.
I don't know what he's got going on, but the hat is always kind of like this.
Bro, that's how the cool kids wear it. All right.
Dude,
I don't know.
All I
Whatever.
know,
He doesn't give a fuck. Hey,
all
I
I
want
kn-
that 191 jersey. I've asked you about it twice.
Just stay on this.
And
Hey,
the second time he responded again when I asked.
Did he
him.
really?
And he's like, "Yeah, I probably got one at my parents' house." And I was like,
Can you go get
"Oh,
it?
sick!" Like it was right around Christmas.
yeah, you mean in New York?
And I was almost like, "It's Christmas time. You going home for Christmas?"
Jesus.
Just hop on the jet, gas it
I'll
up.
FedEx it to you. No, man. To this point, I am super impressed with Jay Coop. He continues to do things that even though we all kind of said he was going to be really good, like even shocked me a little bit.
He
And-
could be the best, like, number 2 rider in this series,
I
essentially.
mean, who could you compare him to? Like in the day, that was a good, solid second
Marvin
tier
Musquin.
rider. Nah, Marv won a lot. Marv took championships in the 450 class to the end.
Tedesco. And
Okay,
Makita.
but it's only his first year.
Tedesco
I
and
don't feel
Makita.
like Tedesco was that good on a Makita.
It's only his first year, though, dude.
He
You
w-
don't think by year 2, 3 here, maybe 3, 4, he's not going to be
the guy
in the mix for stuff, at
Okay.
least for a while?
outdoors. We'll see.
If you want to go back to the Honda days when it was Davey and Shorty, whoever do you want to say would second on that group? Because Davey won more than Shorty did, and Shorty every now and then won, but he was just solid the whole time.
I think he's very Andrew Short-esque.
He is, except
Thank
he's
you.
not full on Christian.
And he's not a smiley face.
He's very
just
Andrew
an
Short.
assassin.
He's also not as good at looking as Andrew Short either.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
It's fine. Whatever, dude. He doesn't give a shit.
we're
But
going that
anyways,
route.
last thing I'll say about Jay Coop is like
I think a lot of people give a shit that watch this show that you don't think so. Wait till I clip that, and
Think he's not good looking?
then he really gives a
I just
shit.
said he's not as good at looking as
Oh,
Andrew
man,
Short.
he is gonna.
He's not as good looking as Andrew Short.
Justin-
And guess what?
Justin
Andrew
Cooper.
Short isn't as good looking as Justin Brayton.
Justin Cooper. will
That's
be in,
true.
Justin Cooper is gonna be in the comments here.
Whatever,
Like,
man.
I guess
Dude,
I'm just
you're-
Guess
ugly.
what? Justin Brayton isn't as good looking as Ken Roczen or Jorge Prado.
Did you see that one clip
Wow,
where
this
Will
just got
Christian
weird.
called Prado hot?
Huh?
Did you see that one clip where Will Christian called Prado hot? Yeah.
Isn't she married?
Yeah, but there's like an interview.
Oh, boy,
and
that's
she
weird.
accidentally
She
like
slips up.
says
Okay,
it.
Aaron
Yeah,
Bates, okay.
on TV.
All right, Aaron Bates 2.0.
And
How
he
about
like
Aaron Bates dropping the rocks in front of Barsha?
Oh God, yeah. Well,
Oh, my God.
he banged
Anyway.
her anyway.
Anyway.
You said one last thing I'll say. You said about the number 2 guy. Well, when Eli goes, like I understand it's Coop, and this is going to sound really like crazy, just because of the the difference in outdoor results. J. Coop might end up being ultimately the number 1 guy on that team.
maybe. Could be. Wouldn't surprise me.
So who you gonna put Hurlings the number 2 guy?
Hell no. You shut your fucking mouth.
You know, when those two step away, I don't. Who's in the pipe?
For who? Star?
Yeah.
Well, Hayden's not going to be on that team anymore. So
Hayden's going
Not Gavin
Hayden's going
Towers.
450 next year.
not Gavin Towers. That's, for
what they
damn
keep
sure.
saying.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That was an interview that they talked about.
What?
Like
I bet they're just stirring shit.
They really thought. I mean, to be
I
honest,
bet they thought he was getting a title this year. He backs it up next year.
I mean,
and he goes to 450
it's still
outdoor.
it's still well in the realm
is
here.
still
Like we're not
well.
out of. And if he wins this year, then he's got next year Supercross.
he's
and
got
then-
backs it up and goes 450
Look,
outdoor.
bro,
like Sexton.
he's got some shit to worry about. Fucking winning.
He's got
the
some
title.
stuff to
Well,
worry
we'll
about.
get to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Congrats, J. Coop, though.
Moving on. Stu 7th, real quiet 7th, but that's good for him.
I feel like he hated his life.
I feel like Husky doesn't care about results.
Okay, moving on. Dylan 8th. You want to know the thing I love about Dylan?
What?
I
He was
saying
in the
this
mix
last
in the
night.
beginning until he
Yeah,
weeded it.
Is that he does not give a fuck who you are.
No, he doesn't.
He threw it in on Tomac. It was
Hey,
just
you
like,
want to know
hey,
what's
see
funny?
a bitch?
You know what's funny though?
Hey, Day Tomac, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm friends.
That was
but
what he said.
Master Pool was always like, "Oh, you're Dylan Ferrandis, fuck you."
Yeah.
outdoors. But
You know
God.
the crazy thing is, man, and I know it's just like their heaters and their Insta bangers or practice clips. Did you guys watch the video that came out on Vital beforehand though of like him training the dog pound? It was him, Drew Adams, the
was
Gordon
it like the
brothers.
Rising Phoenix thing?
No, it was just a video of him like right before Daytona. Dude, some of the videos that I've seen of him during the week at the dog pound,
Probably
like,
insane.
it's like he should be beating Jett. Like he
Did you
just
see the outdoor stuff? Like,
no,
is
like
that
this
what-
was him riding their Daytona Supercross track.
yeah, like the outdoor.
Yeah,
section,
going in and out of the black dirt and the sand or whatever. And I'm
That's
like,
what I'm saying, dude.
I'm
Let
like,
that dude get
what
the outdoors.
I'm like, what the fuck? And then you watch him going. Obviously, he's been good and he hasn't gotten hurt yet. Knock on wood. But like the difference, and we know it's a mental thing and whatever. But the difference of what I see in the videos during the week as opposed to the weekend, I'm like, man, holy shit.
I've heard this with
Get outdoors.
several guys. Who was talking? Somebody was talking about this on a podcast this week. It was a rider talking about another rider, and they're like, "Yo, if we hold a race Monday through Friday, you'd never beat them."
Dylan?
No, it wasn't Dylan.
Oh.
It was somebody else they were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, but then you get
Kevin
there
Windham back in the day?
But then you get there on Saturday, and it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, apparently
oops.
Pierce Brown's faster than Chase Sexton during the week.
Oh,
so
God.
Who was it? A 450 guy?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
Interesting.
Though.
I wonder if it was Cade Clayson talking about James Stewart.
No. No. So it was somebody.
It was Clayson?
No. It was somebody talking about Freddie. Maybe it was Phil. He was
No.
talking about Freddie.
No
he,
way.
Freddie Norton's
And he's-
going to be number one.
and he's like, dude,
way.
he's like, if you saw Freddie during the week, he's like, dude, he's
Supercross
He's
track?
unbelievable.
Phil's talking
No,
about his
he's
ass.
like, but you
Phil-
put him in a race setting, he's like,
Phil's
dude,
being an
just
asshole.
balls
Phil's
off.
being a dick. There's
Maybe.
no way.
I don't
There's
know.
no
Phil's
way.
being an asshole.
No disrespect to Phil, but
Phil's
there's-
being a dick.
or no disrespect to Freddie, but there's no way.
Phil's like, yo, I'm going to pump Freddie up. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, you look really good in Supercross.
If
Ultimately,
he's talking outdoor, then maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, we're moving on.
I did
Ah.
watch him chase down Tomac outdoors one time.
I also
Moving
feel
on.
like Phil should wear different shorts if he's going to be on TV.
Ooh.
You know, we're moving on. Ando 9th, super pissed.
Ando was there?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Was he?
Ooh.
Was
Yeah,
Ando there?
yeah. You want to know the clip I saw?
Mr. Kyle, was Ando there?
He was.
Yeah, he was in 9th. Did he get lapped? Because they were storming the track and he was still out.
No,
there.
we're gonna talk about
He
that.
was the last guy
Oh,
not lapped.
are we going to talk about that?
We can right now.
Oh, no.
We'll do
I mean,
half-
well, let's
let's
wait
talk about
halftime.
that.
You wanna-
we'll do
you
that
wanna
during
rant?
halftime
Okay,
because
all
that's
right.
part of my
Yeah,
rant.
but Ando was there. Like, Jesus, I didn't realize he
Didn't
was there.
see him all day.
I saw a crash, like a couple other stuff. Like, I don't know what he had going on.
I saw him size up that quad on press day, and he was just like, nope.
BRM.
I mean, right?
Got
Right?
a house on
got-
the ocean.
Got
Like,
a
he's
kid.
good.
He's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had
all right. Benny.
I know.
Beta.
I know his salary. It's pretty
don't-
good.
That'll never happen again.
Beta. 10th place.
That'll never happen again.
Jumped him up into 8th place in the manufacturer.
You know
points.
what this connection
one
I just
finish.
made was?
Oh, boy.
I think it's funny that beta is like it means small, the little guy.
Oh,
You know, beta
okay.
fish.
Yeah.
And you got the biggest motherfucker riding it.
Probably.
Yeah, it still looks like a monkey fucking
What is
a
that?
football.
Is that an oxymoron? Is that what that's called?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
We should
so-
start calling him oxymoron.
All right.
I
Well,
don't think he would like that too much.
good on.
He
Good on.
doesn't like us anyway. Him and Tevin Tapia were heated about our comments. about
Tevin
him,
was
so-
heated?
Yeah.
No shit.
Benny's heated at us too.
Well, because we clipped something and you were like, it's fine. He's got money. Like, he doesn't
Oh.
need to try.
Oh, yeah.
And then
He liked it or
Tapia
something.
said something and Bloss liked the comment.
Fuck Tapia.
Whatever. I don't know.
damn.
Oh boy,
Snail
Jesus!
tooth.
Could you calm your comments down? Because what happens is that the software picks up on this, clips that, and then we look like.
shows-
Actually, you look like an asshole all the time.
Well,
is
I mean,
what
you
ends
got
up
that one.
happening.
You got that one guy that's just out for you completely on every video you put out.
Y'all nuts?
Yeah, he really wants you. He is
okay.
really all.
He wants your nuts.
Probably. Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's
whatever.
I think the dude, it's a full-on troll.
Probably. It's cool.
It's
I don't-
great.
I don't mind.
Hey,
I
I,
mean, it makes
know
me
Wyman
laugh.
doesn't have a burner account because he commented on the live stream the other night.
Did he really?
Yeah, it said Stub eats ass.
That's pretty much sums it up. All right. Barsha 11th. It's not good. And somebody tried telling me last
I don't know.
week.
He was a little alive in the heat race, though.
Somebody said he's got
Was
a
he?
2-year deal, so he's still good for next year too.
I doubt it. They'll buy him out.
I don't
Yeah,
think. I don't think he's there.
I think
next year.
Barsha's riding off into the sunset. He's
That's
calling her career.
kind- He's not happy with the bike
No, yeah, he threw him under the bus.
because they won't let him do.
Maybe
You
he
know,
should
what
have-
would, you know what would be really cool, though, if they do keep him around? Like, TLD needs him as some kind of ambassador role.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
would
think
think
know
that would
what?
be a good place for him.
You know what I really think they should do, honestly? You know what I think Triumph should do?
KTM Group's really good at getting rid of their ambassador
You know,
people.
Yeah. You know what Triumph should do? They should fire Evan Ferry. You can keep Jalik Swoll. Jalik's doing what he
He's
can.
been solid, dude.
Yeah, but they should keep Jalik. I'm not
get
gonna hate
we'll
on
get to
Jalik,
this.
geez. But you're gonna like this.
You're not this week, huh?
You know what? You know what Triumph should
Issued an
do?
apology,
You know
now
what
we're
Triumph
friends.
Did you
should
clip that? Did we get the
Yeah.
apology?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
you know what
clip
Triumph
anything
should
last
do?
week.
They should hire Barsha. They should hire Smitty. They already got Joey, and we're just gonna have a full-on MTF reunion.
There we go.
Hey.
Just a full-on MTF
There we
reunion.
go.
like
They should have bought
fucking-
MTF, not the Moto X compound.
Yeah,
man.
exactly,
There
man.
we
We'll
go.
just have a full-on MTF crew, and Jalik will just be there, and it's like, yeah, man.
He's just there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, was Jalik solid? But
Yeah.
seriously, like once Smitty's deal's up at Star because he's not gonna win anything on a 450. Barsha's done at Gas. Joey's already on the team. We're just gonna have a full-on MTF reunion.
Sure, why not? All right. AC 12th. I think he came back literally just to race Daytona.
He finally raced Daytona.
I
on a
think that
450.
I don't
And
think
you know
we see
what?
him next weekend.
And you know
Who?
what? He did
AC.
And you know what? He
Can
did.
you text somebody and find out if he's gonna race next weekend?
Probably not.
And you know what? 11th.
Thanks.
I
And you
know
know
his
what?
salary.
11th.
Oh my god.
Do you shut the fuck up? Do
You
you
told
know,
me not to say anything.
You know what? 11th is good.
I mean, that's fine.
I
Look,
think he should
all
be
I'll
happy with
say
11th.
about the salary thing,
Oh my god. You told us not to talk about this.
I just know it's the
I'm
same.
glad you're the one doing it,
Look,
not me.
I just know it's the same as the other guy on the team,
Ah,
which is crazy to me. That they're both the same.
I'm not making a comment on this.
Okay.
I'm
Can
not
I throw out a number and you just like blink?
No.
Damn it.
No. He told us not to talk about it, and then here he is. Remember that text
That's
was
all
very
I'm saying. I'm not dropping
the
numbers.
text was very specific about do not talk
Because
about it.
I really want to know.
Don't drop numbers.
And here I am over here keeping my fucking mouth
Okay,
shut.
good boy,
and then
good
you're
boy.
over here talking about it.
I'm just saying they're the same.
Kyle Chisholm gets 13th.
After barely making it, well, I guess he
yeah.
barely. Yeah, he made it through the.
Do you like
LCQ, but-
the little jab of like how Ricky was like, dude, Stu, you and him went pro at the same time or some shit
Hey,
like that.
Actually, they didn't, but that okay.
It's whatever.
You want to know what really grinds my gear?
Oh boy, here we go.
The fact that there was 3 people in the booth last night, and there should only ever be 2.
Yeah, get rid of Ricky.
I know, right?
Oh
Fuck that
boy.
guy.
Chiz would have been a great fantasy pick, but guess what?
We
live in
can't
fucking
play
Michigan.
fantasy.
Yeah, you
As
probably
we
also
li-
know would have been a great fantasy pick, John Short.
And you know who else I would have been looking at? That Bourdon dude. Even though he didn't make it, I would have had eyes on him.
All right, so Shane Sins is 14th.
Is McKell? How crazy is it that like a few years
He's
ago,
just a solid top 15 guy.
McElrath was like one of the hottest prospects coming off at 250, and now he's just kind of hanging out.
Up there battling with Sexton.
Fucking
Remember?
Oh yeah, the
In
250
the title, the 250
Yeah.
title. Not
yeah.
now.
Yeah, not now. I was like, what?
He was very confident after his 4th place finish in the mud, though.
Yeah, I bet he
Very
was.
confident.
Maybe he'll get another 4th this weekend.
Maybe.
I mean, that handlebar stash really boasts
And he
confidence.
doesn't even watch porn.
John Short,
He's a good
15th.
Christian boy.
He is.
Anakawi. John Short, 15th.
Doesn't want to be a factory
Anakawi.
rider.
He's
Does-
never going back to the beta.
No,
Nope.
never.
Not at
No,
all.
because he already has done better one time on that cowie than he did on the beta.
Team Green.
And he's wasn't getting paid either. So
Time
Green, maybe.
Master Pool 16th actually made a main on a.
Oh, he was in the
450.
main.
Yeah.
See, I don't even
didn't
give
know.
a shit about the back half of the field anymore.
Me neither.
Because of Paul.
yeah, how much do you really just hoping he's like just wants these next few months to be over with and he just wants to get to outdoors?
Yep, that's what I'm hoping.
No, I think he'll be even better outdoors.
Oh, he's gonna be great outdoors,
Yeah.
but I think he really hates riding Supercross.
Jeremy Hand 17th.
Good on Jeremy Hand, man.
AP huge one. There.
Ejectocito, cuh.
Almost a replay of whatever the hell year it was, 15, 16, whenever it was there that he broke his heel.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That was Daytona.
Yeah,
Was that all that long ago?
yeah, it was a while.
Wow.
It was a while.
I just remember his last big one was 2020 Unadilla.
Hey, business idea. Did you watch his interview on Race Day Live?
No.
Classic interview, by the way.
Classic.
But they're like, hey, how long before we get some cowboy hats out there for the fans? He's like, oh, we're working on it, but it's hard to find a cowboy hat under $150. You know, if you can find it in bulk, let me know. Let's make a deal. So
Also-
we better start
So
sourcing some cowboy hats.
Make some cowboy hats.
I also find
yeah.
it funny that people, there was the question that was asked that like, oh hey, like where did the cowboy thing come up? Like I understand he likes NASCAR, and like they went on this whole rant, and somebody was just like, he's from fucking Ohio, he's not a cowboy.
Yeah, somebody said like
It
he
was
somebody
2000
like kind
it
of
was
brought it up.
2019.
Somebody kind of brought it up, and now he just like taking it and ran with it. Because like remember Star Days, he was just
Yeah.
nothing but that.
Yeah.
However, he did do a lot of country music karaoke with Bobby Raines.
He did so many weird shit as like the worm in the mud. And, you know, all that
Maybe he
kind
was
of
just
stuff.
trying to find himself, and he found him.
You know the funny thing though is I remember him so much because I watched him a lot as an amateur. He just, if you would have told me all these years later, 10 years later, that this is who AP would turn into, I'd be like, no
No,
way.
I remember watching
No
Walker
way.
beat him in Redbud.
Yeah, dude. He really didn't come into his own until he got off 125s.
I think going down to the Moto X compound what did it for him.
Oh, for sure.
I think he was a guy that.
Okay.
Sorry, but I think he was a guy that needed somebody like, hey, you got to do this every single.
Hey, man,
day.
it was all those days of battling with Tyler McSwain. You all right?
I do have a cool picture of me and Tyler McSwain going into the first turn together.
Yeah, that was the last time you saw him.
the last time I saw him. That bike with the stick-on numbers almost whole shot at that JGR bike.
Hey, you know what? You can hold your head high. You're still in the sport. He's not.
Hey,
Oh boy.
I got the factory ride. He didn't.
All right.
I got a factory ride with no results. Tell me I didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Freddie Nor 19.
Just killing it on a
Just
Supercross
killing-
track would
just-
beat everyone.
Dude, if he rides like that during the week, he
He
should
would
beat
win.
that last
He
night.
would be beating Jett.
There's no way.
Dino
that's
is 20th. Anybody see what happened to Hunter Lawrence? He's 21st.
He crashed.
Well, I know he
real. I
crashed.
saw his helmet just weeded up.
Just fucking waving.
all that momentum he had at Arlington just went down the drain.
And there it went.
You think it grinds his gears that Jake Hoop is just putting in work and
I don't
he's
know.
I bet it grinds his gears that his little brother is just this amazing phenom.
Do you think
You
he
know-
grinds the gears in the Porsche, or do you think he knows how to actually drive it?
No, I think he does. Probably.
All right.
Do you think the Lawrence brothers ever go their separate ways?
Yes.
Because of tension.
Event. Well, I don't know about tension.
No.
I think they'll go their separate ways at some point, but I don't think it'll be because of tension.
Hunter is.
I think Hunter's over the
Hunter
whole.
is mature enough, I think, to just go. You know what? It's just not my thing.
That's just like he's gonna be the better brother. Like he's the better
You
guy.
know what the thing though. You know what I actually.
And just say, you know what? Just be the happy. Just be the guy who's a little bit more serious, but happy to be here, and just ride with him essentially to just keep it going.
You know-
Hopefully they have one bank account and just pool their money.
Depending on how Hunter's trajectory goes, and this is ridiculous to even say this, but like what he does in the next few years, I could honestly see him going back over the pond
Maybe.
if it goes
Yeah.
less than stellar. The
Yeah,
next
I
few
think maybe
years.
he left some stuff
Jets
on the
never
table
go.
over
Jets
there.
never going. So
No.
like he's not gonna. But Hunter, I really could because I think Hunter actually really loved the
International.
the end of like the beginning wasn't great, but the end of his GP.
And he's got
career.
enough clout now to get a
Yeah.
good ride
Oh,
with
for
good
sure.
pay and
For
like
sure.
actually,
He'd be
do
on
it.
he'd be on the factory Honda team over
Yeah.
there, no problem.
Yeah, I don't. I think he's here for good though.
I mean, I don't want to see him go over there, but I just think that if ever came down to you talk about the leaving their separate ways, I think they would be Hunter doing that. I don't think it'd have to be something dramatic.
Yeah.
The most interesting talk I did hear about going overseas though is how interested Anderson was.
Yeah. That's
He'd
an
fit that
interesting
lifestyle,
thing.
man.
Yeah, he would too.
Yeah, I think he'd be down.
Yep. And Justin Hill, 22nd. But we wouldn't know because there's no difference between him and the guys in the LC Kia who didn't make it. So
Justin Hill was there.
I mean, he was 22nd.
I mean, I watched.
Somebody was going to put him in his wild card for 10th, and usually I'm an advocate for Justin Hill, but I was like, fuck no, don't do that.
Bad idea.
I didn't even realize Justin Hill was there.
Yep. And that's your 450 race
I think his
recap.
brother was.
Team Tatter, dude.
Brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, like Cameron McAdoo. Okay.
Sackers.
Great downspout.
Great downspouts.
This
Okay.
is halftime.
It's time for our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report here.
So I can go take a free league?
Yeah, go for it, man. If you gotta go pee,
no,
have a
we're
good
good. I
time.
think I'm
Me and
good right
Justin
now.
will hold the fort down. Yeah, so Complete Racing Solutions this month, we are promoting Coach Rob Store's nutrition bundles. These are supplement bundles that include adrenal support, joint restoration, broken bones bundle, and concussion rehab bundle, and there are more options than that. Those are just a few I wrote down. Pick yours up today at CoachRobStore.com. Link in the description down below. Thank you, Complete Racing Solutions, for being on. All right, so halftime report here. This is where we get into things like our Holster Co. Reload Rant, our TLR Coatings tinfoil hat. We're going to talk...
Oh,
oh, my
Let him
God.
hit it.
We're going to talk about the SMX rounds here, because those finally got announced. 8 rounds in, we know where we're going for our playoffs now.
Hey, I'm going to Vegas.
Are you?
I won an all expenses paid trip through
did you really? Oh, I thought you were making that
way.
up.
Because I sold the most marketing.
Oh, good job.
That a boy.
Good job.
Yeah.
Can I
Good
go
job.
with you?
Can I go with you?
Me and a guest, all expenses paid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we're getting that.
I don't think so.
There's a couple of things that I don't think we do that I think there's a certain someone
and I don't need to go
else
see
that
dirt
does.
bikes that much.
No. It's not that big of a deal to me.
No, I'm taking Emily.
Wow.
Wow,
shocking.
there's a shock.
Let's
I'm
go.
going to the Spear.
Let's get. Did you
Oh,
call
God.
it the spear?
Yeah.
Spear?
It's the sphere.
Spear.
Sphere.
The P is silent, bro. It's sphere.
Spear.
It's not a spear. You don't stab someone with it. It's a sphere. It's round.
A sphere.
Oh my God.
Say it again.
Sphere.
He's an idiot.
Have you seen the inside of that thing? Have you seen?
Severe?
I have seen a couple videos of the
Holy,
inside.
they're
Looks
gonna hold
cool.
a UFC fight there.
Severe?
Are they?
Severe?
Sphere.
Sphere.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the Mathis place.
Sphere.
Yeah, there you go.
He went and saw you two there 6 times.
Let's go to. You know how much they paid them
yeah.
to go
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm stoked to go back to Vegas.
Sounds cool, man.
Let's go to
Like-
Texas.
Even if I didn't perform well in my work life,
I couldn't. Yeah, I was gonna say
I
I
would
can't go to
go.
the Vegas one anyway.
Yeah.
It's the kid's birthday
Let's go
weekend.
to Texas though.
Texas, I might be able to swing. We'll see. I looked
I don't
up
know,
flights
maybe
last night, $450 to get there.
but no, I'd like to go out there and go see the Hoover Dam and like stay a couple days early and go check some stuff out. I like Vegas. I don't know why.
Vegas is fun after like 2 days, and then I'm out.
Yeah,
I think
Vegas
Vegas is
is
sick.
2-3 days, and then I'm out.
I can't handle everything.
Yeah,
going
but I
on.
like going out. Like I want to go out of town a little bit. Like go check out some of the.
I mean, I would love to rent a Lambo and go drive Red Rock and stuff. That'd be cool, but that's several $1,000s.
Whatever you do, don't go on the old strip.
Why? Hill Strip was fine.
Fremont's dope.
Yeah.
Dude, you see shit, dude.
There's some interesting street performers down there.
Fremont wasn't bad last time I was
Fremont
there.
was cool. I
It's been a
thought.
while since I've been in Vegas, but last time I was on the old strip, man, I was seeing shit during the day. I didn't want to.
It's
Well,
way better now.
down by like the.
Or it was, at least it was pre-pandemic.
What's the big fucking? Got the spinning restaurant on the top of it. I'm an idiot for
Stratosphere.
not knowing this. The
Stratosphere.
Strat.
Yeah.
Down there's kind of ghetto.
Yeah, that
'Cause
gets a little ghetto when you get to the north end there.
Yeah, because when I stayed,
But Fremont's been cleaned up a
no,
little
it's like
bit.
in between there's like sketchy.
Yes, in between there's real sketchy. You want to know why? Because I got off the bus and I walked from about the Stratosphere to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop there, aka Pawn Stars. Yeah, that's a lot
It's
sketchy through there.
because I was staying at the Sahara when I went to AIM Expo when I worked at Tucker.
Okay.
And that's where we stayed. Mm-hmm. And so I was like looking up the area, and they were like, "Don't get off the beaten path too far down around here." Mm-hmm. So
I love Vegas for the first 2 days. Like, it's one of the funnest places, in my opinion, to be for the first 2 days. And then, like I said, every time after the second day, I'm over it.
Yeah, there's just, unless you've got a ton of money to blow, it's
Yeah.
where it turns into like, oh, this isn't really that much.
I'd go out there for the Barrett Jackson show if they ever had one, though.
I need to go to SEMA.
Oh, you go to SEMA? Let me know, because I'm all about it.
yeah, let me know. I'd go with you.
I don't care how
that,
much
like-
money.
Like
It
that.
costs.
Don't
That's
worry, I'll put you
look,
guys in.
Mr.
I'll put you guys in the queue for
This guy's a
everybody who's
vendor
like,
here,
oh, I
dude.
want to go.
TLR vendor.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
Dude,
I know I can
SEMA,
go.
that is
It's
a
fun.
bucket list thing for me to go to
I'd
SEMA.
go to SEMA. My
Yeah.
dad used to go over here.
Because I would just be in fucking heaven, but then I also be a little sad because I'd be like, I want that car, I want that truck, I want that, I want that. I can't afford that.
We'll see. We're balling on budget right now, so. But we might be able to swing Texas for what's it called? So
Second round.
Yeah,
SMX
so we'll
or
see.
something? I don't know.
Any Any thoughts on any of it? I mean,
I-
speedway
The Fort Worth
tracks.
thing was interesting. Texas Motor Speedway. It's
I
all
was hoping-
speedway stuff. But I think the Vegas one's at the drag strip.
The Vegas one is at the drag strip.
Oh man,
Even
I don't
though
like that.
we
Which
knew
is interesting. Does that have a 4-lane wide drag strip
No.
too?
no,
It's only 2?
North
Yeah,
Carolina's
so
the
I
only
don't
one.
know
That's
what
interesting.
they got going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
weird.
big. It's big, but it is a little shocking that it's at the drag strip.
Yeah.
Two things. I was really hoping because we all knew we were going back to North Carolina, but I was really hoping we were going to the dirt track because we obviously seen how that track flowed, and then now that we've had a lot of years in between of what we could do different. And even though we knew it wasn't going to happen, and it never will happen, I was hoping when we hit Texas it was going to be at Coda.
The problem with
But it's
Coda-
never going to happen.
They're working their way.
But it's
the
yeah,
problem
it's true.
the problem I think with Coda is that place is so big,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
main grandstand on the main strip there, like there just isn't enough room to build a track
Could
in
you
there.
imagine though the festivities that they?
Yeah,
could,
I mean it'd be
Holy
super cool.
shit.
It'd be super cool. But like I said, I don't think, and again, I haven't been there. I'm just going by what I've seen on TV and stuff. I don't think there's enough seating outside of the main strip to
No,
make
you'd
it
have to
worth their
funnel
while.
everybody towards the track.
Yeah, and then like on that main strip, like there isn't enough room to build
You don't have
a track.
Yeah, you'd almost
So-
have to build other grandstands closer to the infield. But holy crap, though, people like to talk about like how crazy Daytona is. If we ever are lucky enough to have a race at Coda, that would blow anything out of the water that we've ever seen.
So let me ask you guys this, and I want to know what you guys think. So, kind of look like an idiot on the Chicago thing, but somebody from Feld literally said, "Hey, we think this is going to be a 2-year thing."
I think it
Yeah.
would make sense for how much they got it for. Why wouldn't
I
they?
mean,
So
say-
that's where my mind is transitioning a little bit. Did this thing do well enough last year where venues are like, "Hey, we'll pay you to come here"?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because Chicagoland doesn't have any revenue coming in where they're going to pay if somebody to come. You saw that facility; it was not good.
Yeah,
I
which
bet
is
you. I bet you Las Vegas did. I don't know about Texas though.
I don't know if the thing is I don't know if anybody's paying them to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
paying to go everywhere.
Are we ever going to get to the point where, because where venues pay the series to come? That happens, right?
I still don't think we're big enough.
It doesn't MXGP, which is interesting, but that's
And that's more the local government.
That's government stuff,
Such
yeah.
a different business
And that
model
almost took
than
their
what
first GP
we're
out.
doing with. I don't know, man. I don't know. The locations are interesting. The Texas thing, especially in September, dude, like that could be
hot.
hot.
Even Vegas could be pretty
Vegas
hot
could
too.
yeah. So like those both could be hot. Obviously, like North Carolina's probably okay, but could be warm also.
Texas, we could have another Freestone situation where fucking everybody's hooked up to IVs.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
They do
It's,
it anyway.
And
Yeah, I
don't-
know, but they're making a big deal about it.
I'll be interested to see what the turnout's like in Texas there.
I think
it'll be pretty
Texas will be.
good.
I think Texas will be really good. I'm more worried about Vegas.
I don't
that's
know.
gonna be good?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna say it's not good.
Every-
I think a lot of
there's-
people will go to Vegas just
Yes.
because, like, for me, the entertainment factor outside of the race.
Yes.
Anything moto related in Texas, especially now. I don't know if you guys have heard, but a lot of like tracks are going away in Texas. Don't know why. I'm actually shocked that of all places, Texas is such a big hub for moto that I feel like you put anything moto related there that had like on the professional side, people will go to it. Like Freestone, like
Yeah.
the issue had nothing to do with like the turnouts weren't great. It's just like we kept fucking losing guys into the motos. Like I remember 2010 or 2011, the second 250 moto, only like 25 guys lined up because they all overheated. And
Is that
back
the year
then,
Tomac overheated?
no, that was the year. No,
Or is that the year-
2010? He overheated as a
That's
rookie.
the year Wilson pulled over, let somebody by. And
Yeah,
lost
this
it
is
over.
also the same year that Kyle Cunningham, I think, got on the box, and then they bitched at him because he took an IV afterwards, and back then it wasn't allowed. You weren't allowed to do IV bags. Well,
It was after the race was over, though.
yeah, they didn't care. They popped him.
In between motos.
Yeah, because he was taking an IV bag. It was 115 degrees.
I see. At that point, it gets to a safety thing where I think they should have let.
And that was the issue with Freestone is that it had nothing to do with the turnouts were great back then. Like the turnouts were great. It's just they got to the point, kind of like what we saw at Paul a couple years ago. We were like, I don't really know how safe this shit is. And we've all seen it at Loretta's over the years.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I think Texas will be good. I guess you guys are right. Like the Vegas thing, like people go there.
Vegas will be fine because it's an excuse for people to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people that have called into Pulp over the last 2-3 years about like, why do we not go back to Vegas for the finale? Why do we not go back?
Well, did you see that Supercross live thing that they did where they interviewed all the riders and were like, where would you rather see an SMX ride?
Yeah.
And all of them said Vegas.
Yeah.
Charlotte will be interesting if it's not a good turnout, because like I don't know why all of a sudden we've clamored to like going back to like North Carolina. I understand once again it's a hub for motorsports, but like, what if that's not good? Because like I feel like you could move forward with Vegas and Texas, and obviously we know at some point Atlanta Motor Speedway is going to get it because they're not doing the Supercross. But like we know that at that time of the year, there are certain spots that we can go to, and like if Charlotte's not a good turnout. What is it going to be Atlanta?
But I heard the Charlotte turnout was decent last year.
So the thing I didn't like about Charlotte was
the stands were full.
I thought Chicagoland was a good turnout too.
Well, the way the
get it.
suites were, like the box seats and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so it's different in Vegas where the box seats are along the side of the track.
Yeah,
let's see.
Where in Charlotte they were just at the end.
And yeah, which was a big complaint by.
Which is
the media too.
So
now that makes me feel better because they told me I'd be
another one that always comes to mind, and I know that this has been said before, is Bristol.
That would be an interesting one too. I don't know how well that would go over though, because I know that's a big pain in the ass getting dirt in and out.
Yeah,
and you'd have to basically just put it on the infield.
Is the infield at Dover too big, too small? Cole?
Where at?
Is the infield at Dover too small?
I don't know.
Probably because
I'm
that's
getting
only
back into NASCAR.
That's only a half mile track too.
Because I'm trying to think about, because we had this conversation about the whole like speedway things and like obviously Feld or whatever, and I've tried to think like what tracks could they go to that are speedway related or drag strip related.
I'll be really honest. They brought up the Talladega years ago. I'll bet if Alabama goes good, I bet we end up at Talladega.
If we go to Talladega,
I bet we end up there.
I'm gonna have to go.
I know. I bet we end up there, dude.
Where?
Talladega. Because if
Alabama goes well, I bet we end up at Talladega.
Talladega would be fucking wild just because of the fact of like you're not just gonna get moto people at that one. Like people go to Talladega just to party.
It's the party thing. Yeah.
Like you see like the pictures of what Talladega looks like on NASCAR weekend.
I'll be interested.
It'd be the red boat of Supercross.
Except I think crazier, to be honest.
I'll be interested to see where we kind of go, because we all know that Alabama's basically replacing Atlanta at this point. So is there somewhere else down there?
Could we do MIS?
More?
Could we do MIS?
No.
MIS
would be lame.
Yeah, they're not gonna go there. If they're gonna go to these speedways, they're gonna go to cool ones per se.
Yeah, MIS is kind of lame. Like the most badass one, in my opinion, would be Bristol.
Bristol, I still think would be cool. Phoenix,
I think the infield's too small, man.
Phoenix
with the garages and stuff, there's just nowhere to build a track. You can't build on the track itself.
Well, they could do something super bad. I don't know how the outside looks, but they could go up the wall, out the tunnel, have a section outside, and then come in the tunnel on the opposite side.
The one at Phoenix would be cool. Phoenix. That's, I guess I don't know if Phoenix is big enough. There's a lot that they could do, and I'm just really curious where this is going to go the next couple of years.
Look, well, I think, you know what, Bristol, I think it's bigger than you think.
The infield?
I've been.
That's only a half-mile track, dude. They ain't that big.
I'm gonna look it up.
It would be rough building the track there.
Bristol compared to
because you either would have to have no one in the garages and have them closed, which would be weird, or you put them in the garage.
They don't have garages in Bristol.
They don't have garages in the middle.
They just park the rigs out in the middle.
I guess I'm just looking at.
Yeah, then it definitely wouldn't.
So they would have to park outside the place.
Yeah, and then you could. Then I guess you might be able to build track in there.
I think I'm more interested in this of the speedways where we go to because of like what the track variations are going to look like.
Yeah,
because like I think the one at Texas Motor Speedway is going to be very interesting.
Well, I'm interested to see what they do at Vegas there.
Yeah,
because that drag strip's not 4 wide.
Yeah, so. I thought they were going to go to Vegas Motor Speedway. To be honest with you,
I did too.
Plenty. That's Bristol compared to a football field.
Oh yeah.
Let me see.
Bristol would definitely be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be super cool. Check it out, y'all.
Bristol would be cool. Bristol would be
There
cool.
you go.
Bristol would be cool.
Bristol would be super cool.
Bristol would be very cool.
Yeah, Bristol would be.
There's a lot of. Yeah, I like it. Like. I wish we were going back to the dirt track at Charlotte, but I like the fact that we're going back to Vegas, and I just like that we have something big again in Texas.
Oh, wild. I didn't know Virginia Tech played at Bristol. They put a field in the middle of Bristol or something?
You're kidding me.
Virginia Tech games are wild.
Way.
I'm going to look.
I like it, though.
Yeah.
Can you teach me to football?
The Texas thing's interesting that they're not having. I mean, I guess that's middle of the country too. It's
Dude,
just
they
south instead of north.
Shit did. Look at that. That's plenty of room.
Yeah, bro. Yep. I think that was this year.
The only thing is those buildings on the end right there.
Yeah.
And
That's Victory Lane and all that.
Yep.
But they could come out, maybe go out and around like that and come in.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they got the whole front stretch is flat too.
Yeah, these speedways offer up a lot of what you could do variation-wise. So,
Bristol's just cool because it's still that stadium vibe. Like,
well, Bristol's old school, man. Same thing with like Dover.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
that's
I don't know.
That's pretty badass.
Let me
Sorry, I
ask-
keep cutting you off.
Let me ask you guys this.
Bristol.
I think
Bristol.
I think Vegas settles in as a
Yeah, I think
as
just-
a round just till the end of time.
Too many people want to keep going back to Vegas, but I do eventually think we go to the speedway and not the drag
And
strip.
for the finals, that's great because then you're just in the party
I mean,
city
you're
to
in
party
Vegas- you're in
afterwards.
Vegas,
Yeah.
dude. You're in Vegas. It's September.
Do you think we stick with Texas and North Carolina, or do you think those two continue to move around?
I think North
Do,
Carolina.
do you think those rotate? Actually, you know what? It honestly wouldn't surprise me now that I'm thinking about it. It wouldn't surprise me if North Carolina stays, Vegas stays, and we rotate like
Texas.
Chicago, something like that, where you're kind of like even something more in the middle, like in Oklahoma
Look,
or
if we're gonna-
Kansas or something.
If
Hey,
we're gonna do Atlanta, we're gonna do Texas, Chicagoland. We also need to look at Talladega and Bristol.
I'm also learning a lot of new things here.
oh boy,
That's always fun.
The Vegas Strip is a 4 wide.
is it
Now,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Okay, that makes more sense going there then.
Yeah, they only got grandstands on one side.
That's interesting.
yeah. I don't know. I think Vegas is gonna be here to stay. You would think Charlotte just once again because it's a hub. Mm-hmm. But I do wonder if we end up in Florida at somewhere else in Florida at some point.
Florida, they say, just never does well with races outside of Daytona.
Which is wild because, and I know that they talked about it last night. They always use it with Daytona because they have Daytona, they got St. Pete, they got the fucking Sebring.
But from what I understand, I've heard Jason Thomas talk about this a lot. None of the other races outside Daytona do fucking anything in Florida. Like the attendance is just dog shit.
You know, it would be really cool, but I guess I would have to go back and it's been a while since I didn't watch the race there not last year. As much as I hate to say it, we're gonna end up in California at some point again. Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Laguna Seca.
Dude, put the corkscrew in the
I don't
track.
think there's enough grandstands there, though.
No.
I feel like that if they want to go to some of these iconic venues, they'll figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
you
I
imagine-
think that's their plan is to go to iconic venues.
Laguna Seca though, having a dirt bike race at Laguna Seca, are you fucking kidding me? That'd be sweet.
What other iconic stuff is there?
Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a big infield.
That's a big one, but
There's
I feel like
lots
they're-
of room and there's lots of grandstands in that
I feel like
infield too.
I feel like though with the way Indianapolis, the way that they're whatever the hell you want to call it, the organization
I'm a
that,
Googling machine right
runs that facility, I don't feel like they'd want to taint that facility with putting dirt bikes and dirt in there.
I mean, there's a lot of field in it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it wouldn't be badass, but I just feel like for them to hold
There's
a
a
race
golf
there,
course in there.
they're gonna have to pay those guys a lot of money, and we know how
Yeah.
cheap Feld is.
Yeah, we're gonna look you.
Like there's four.
That's
holes
why I'm
of a-
saying, is it gonna get to the point where the venues are gonna pay them?
Well, Indianapolis Motor Speedway is never gonna pay anybody to have their race there.
No.
It looks like it's all just auto racing tracks in the USA. So yeah, it's all just NASCAR and
Yeah, it's NASCAR or former IndyCar races. But no, I agree. I think Vegas is probably going to be here to stay. And the other ones are just going to rotate, like I said, between Charlotte, Texas, Georgia,
No,
Chicagoland.
That's what I'm reading right now.
I think
Indianapolis,
honestly,
Motor
like I
Speedway.
said, the more I think about it, I think Charlotte will stay. I think Vegas will stay, and I think the one in the middle will rotate up and down the Midwest from Texas all the way up to Chicago. Man,
damn, Indianapolis Motor Speedway's capacity is 400,000.
Yeah, well, the IndyCar.
Daytona is only
The
168.
Indy 500 is like the biggest auto racing thing in the world.
Yeah.
Charlotte Motor Speedway is on the list in third.
Bristol.
Bristol's fourth. Texas is fifth. So I guess
Talladega.
in the grand scheme of things, we're looking pretty good.
Indianapolis is huge, dude.
Indianapolis would be great.
Talladega, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Dover, MIS.
Yep,
Okay,
so,
all right. So anyway, so moving on here to our Holster Co. Reload rants.
Mine's probably the same as yours.
All right, so number one, my first of three, people and entitlement.
The goggles.
Give me your damn goggles.
I'll be honest. I have a screenshot of somebody took a picture, has a picture of Jett doing the burnout, and that guy there. I would love for somebody to send me.
I found a post of the guy.
Did you really?
He was standing on the finish line with the goggles on, pumped.
Perfect.
Dude,
Send
somebody-
it to me.
He's from France.
Somebody in the
It was
comments
a-
said his
Oh,
name.
even better.
It was a foreign-ass comment.
Somebody in
in
the
a different
comments said
language.
his name.
Even better.
Found out who he was.
And Daniel Blair's trying to find him to interview him or something.
Yeah. Great. I'm gonna then I'm gonna text
I would
DB and be
flame
like,
that
I
guy.
want in on this because I'm gonna accost this guy verbally. Because this
I don't
dude,
think
that
he
was-
speaks English.
Don't give a fuck. Great. Guess what I'm gonna tell him next time? We'll let the Germans take over. Good fucking luck,
my
asshole.
Jesus.
Like, what a dickhead. What a
That was
fucking
that
dickhead.
was dickish, very dickish,
Yeah, that was very, that was aggressive.
and like kind of ripped his neck around.
I really wish Jett would have slapped his hand down. I also really wish I would have been standing there because I would have just fucking decked him.
Well,
What
somebody
if
did-
what if it would have like got him all loose like that and he just ghost rides the bike?
Somebody
like,
did the
hopefully,
same-
you know,
right
shit
into
like
him
that.
and then
You know what I
fuck
mean?
him.
Somebody did the same thing to Vialle, apparently.
Took his goggles off?
Yeah.
No, Vialle
I
took
think
his
the
own
whole
goggles
fan
off.
thing at Daytona has gotten out of control.
It has. It has.
And I'll tell you what it comes down to.
Go ahead.
That's Daytona security. That has nothing to do with Feld.
Nope.
I'm going to stick up with Feld here.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with them. That is all Daytona security. That is Daytona being Nazis about credentials.
Uh-huh.
That's them not being down there telling people, hey, you ain't going across here. Like, that's them. Mm-hmm. And what they need to do, or Feld maybe needs to step in and say, hey, guess what? These fans lost their privilege to be on the pavement. They're done. Put them in the stands.
Yep. Yeah, because that was such bullshit.
That was ridiculous.
That
Jason Anderson and AP trying to finish their race.
yeah.
Dude, that honestly, that honestly reminded me of when I was at Buds at 07 for MX of Nations during the last lap when we all knew that, like, oh, hey, like, Ricky and Timmy, like, we just won and we did it in, like, convincing fashion. They're literally doing, like, riding back up to the podium, and there's still dudes on the track motoing down, and fans are just fucking, like,
Right.
bombarding
I
the
don't-
track. And I remember Ricky came around, and we all knew this was Ricky's last ever race that he was ever going to do. And there were guys that were, like, he was about to go up the face of a double, and there were people, like, standing on the face, like, ready to tackle him. And I'm like, standing there, I'm like, are you what is happening?
I don't know.
I'll be
They-
honest. I'll be really surprised if there's not a space between fans and riders next year.
Hey,
there.
I tell you what, though.
And there
you-
needs to be.
You look at the fans that are involved with that, they're all in that 18 to 20 age
Bro,
group.
but this is really, I mean, does it really shock anybody? It's fucking, and I'm going to sound...
Everybody
it's-
that ran onto the track went to Razzles after.
Bro, and it's also, it's like, this, I love Florida, but it doesn't shock me. It's Florida, dude.
It's bike week. They're all fucking
Like,
morons
everybody's
down
boozed
there.
up. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't good.
No, it's a terrible
it's a bad look.
It's a terrible look. It started with the goggles, and then it finished off with everybody being on the track as guys are trying to finish.
Oh, you see
And like
Anderson
said-
smoked that chick? That could
Yeah.
have been like a lawsuit.
Oh yeah, and like I said, you're like you said, it's a Daytona thing, and that goes into another rant of mine of, okay, now this weekend we're back to the 250s going first on everything.
Oh.
Do you want to talk about looking like amateur? Here's the thing I don't understand. Why is this not a Feld event, or why has Feld not stepped in and just been like,
It is
look,
a Feld event.
we're not doing this.
But they
No,
need.
it's not.
It is now.
Is it?
You realize that the Supercross by Honda went away, and now they actually included in the bar-to-bar, season recaps,
Okay.
all that
Okay,
stuff.
great. Cool. Then in that case, then your point becomes more of kind of a gray zone there of it's not Feld, it's Daytona security.
It's Feld runs the show, and
Okay.
they contract Daytona security out. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, then in that case,
It's
there needs
Daytona security's the issue, and Feld needs to have a
then
conversation
in
with
that
them.
case, and this is not me yelling or down talking Feld by any means, but it's Dave Prater, you need to go have a conversation then with Daytona about this because
somebody
this is
needs
bullshit.
to. Yeah, because I mean, you
Like,
listen
this
to the
can't
media
happen.
guys, and they all bitch about their credentials and all
That
that
is
stuff.
all
Like,
fucking stupid.
it's
too.
just that there needs to.
But that I'm not sure is full blown just a Daytona thing because I hear about this at all sorts of different stadiums. Because trust me, if there is
Yeah,
an
I guess you're
issue,
right.
you will hear about it on Mathis's recap about him not being able to get somewhere or having to do something out of the
Which he
ordinary.
always does at Daytona is always
dude,
a little
Yeah,
weird.
this
which is
just-
why he doesn't usually go.
Honestly, this just all comes down to the fact of it. Once again, we always talk about, and I feel like we sound like we're hating on our own fucking sport on this show, but we're just trying to make it better. Is there's not one specific person who deals with these issues.
No.
And this is the thing. We're getting to the point that we're big enough now.
Hold on. But wait. here comes my Holster Co. Reload rant number 3.
Hang on, can I say one thing though?
No.
Before I forget about it.
Oh boy, we're just interrupting on
So
interruptions.
the sport does want to go in a good direction and try
Yes.
to be safer and all that.
Yes.
A video came up of, remember when everybody died in the whoops when they changed the whoops and didn't tell anybody?
Didn't tell anybody?
Well, look, we've got 9 whoops now. They're smaller, and we're telling people about track changes. We're going in the right direction.
Okay.
Anyway, but you are correct about not one person. But here comes my third rant of the night.
Ooh.
We need a Dana White character for the entire thing. Supercross, motocross, SMX. Guy that gets in front of the media before the whole press conference starts and takes media questions about things like ripping the goggles off Jett.
You been listening to Gypsy?
Well, yes.
You're
that
just
too.
reiterating his point.
I mean, but we
But
do.
he's right. He's right.
But we do. I mean, look at, okay,
I think
you're a
Jace
UFC
could be that guy
Yeah.
too.
How about that fight in the stands in Mexico?
Oh, I know.
Did you see how Dana White handled that in the press conference? It was fucking awesome, but man, it went on forever. And guess what? There wasn't any, like, no security came over. And then you know what? Nobody else wanted to do that the rest of the night because they realized they were just going to let you slug it out until somebody won. So,
Well, and it's also the thing too. This goes back to way back when Habib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor were having the issues, and they jumped the cage after
Yep.
it, and everybody was like, "Ooh, what's he gonna do?" Like Conor's involved, Habib's involved, and Dana fucking fined both of their asses, and he looked at their team and he goes, "You ever fucking do that shit again, you won't be allowed at my fights."
yeah. Well, and here's the thing. He's just very matter of fact.
Yeah, Dana does not give a shit about
They
anybody. or
literally were
anything.
like, well, this makes the UFC look bad. He's like, does it? Does it really?
Yeah.
Because this has never
No, it
happened
does.
before. And he goes, I went over there. And he goes, you know what? No security jumped in. I wasn't going to jump in either. And you know what? Security let him slug it out until somebody won. And then no one else wanted to fight the rest of the night.
Yeah. Outside of it being one of his fighters, a la the whole thing that happened with Strickland and Dricus Duplessis at the pay-per-view, like he's gonna, dude. If you're fans and you're
His response to Sean Strickland, you just can't have him around people.
if you're fans and you're at an MMA event and you want to fight somebody at an MMA event, nobody's gonna stop you. Like, if you're gonna knock each other out,
We're just adding
you
a
guys
fight to
wanna
the
be
fight
hey,
card.
you guys want to
Yeah.
be fucking fighters? Cool, man. You'll be fighters. Do it to the death, and then we'll clean your body up
But
and fucking.
fuck, we need someone like that for the sport.
Because I keep going back.
It's just we don't have a guy that's in that position that's outgoing.
But this
enough,
this shows how fucking ass
Great.
backwards.
Put me in, coach. I'm
This
ready.
this shows how
Put
ass.
Jason.
This shows how ass
He's
backwards
working his way there.
and unprofessional our shit is, because this, you talk about like nobody having any idea, credentials, people not getting to go where they need to. This would never fucking happen at Formula One. It would never fucking happen at IndyCar. It would never happen. You want to talk about two wheels? Never happen at MotoGP, World Superbike. This wouldn't happen anywhere. If we want to be bigger, we need to start fucking acting like we know what the hell we're doing.
Do you find it interesting too this year? And again, we're going to go on a little tangent here, and I'm going to be very careful with my words. Do you find it interesting how last year it was all super motocross, and we're not
pushing it as hard.
pushing it as hard this year?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't
And it
it?
also is a little funny too. Remember how for the longest time, like anytime Supercross broadcast was on, they would never talk about outdoors and vice versa.
Well,
and then now it came down. Yeah, I get
that's
it.
what-
Where are you
that
going with
switched
this?
even
Because
before.
like WSX is basically dead.
Well, I'm not talking fully about
No,
that.
WSX isn't fully dead, but
So that's part of it. All of a sudden, like, that seems like it's on the fritz, and we don't have to put, because you know the other thing we
They're not
pushed a
pushing it
lot
as hard
last
anymore.
year too. What
World
was the other thing we
Championship?
put? Huh?
World Championship.
we're not saying world anymore.
No, we're not.
I've heard it a couple times.
Couple times.
I know, but last year we
But
were
outdoor-
very clear every time. This is a world championship.
And I've also only heard them say outdoors like once or twice.
There's, I don't know. I'm gonna have to start doing some digging, but I don't think it's all as
the
kumbaya.
whole
and I
everything,
don't
like
think
the Coombs and everybody it fell. They're not all.
the interesting thing for me is, does all this SMX stuff start to go by the wayside here? And again, I've said it too.
They gotta make it work because
of
I
the
thought
money.
it went really well.
Of the money, I think it went
I
well
think it
too.
really well too. But I think the whole thing that came out with the pay right before it happened opened the eyes to a lot of people. It pissed them off. Like the whole pay, who was getting money, how much money was actually getting allocated, and all this kind of bullshit.
Yep. So,
And but I agree though. I think SMX was great. We all loved it. It was a shot of fresh air to everybody. It was
and
cool.
I thought like the
it
other
turned out the way they wanted it to. Their two main stars won the titles.
yeah, and the outdoor series brought a little flavor in. Where like, hey, Colt Nichols is going to buy his own bike and show up for the last 3 rounds. You got stories like
it
that.
makes
Yep.
things matter. Fortner coming back and really everybody focused on Hammaker, everybody coming back. Like, I want it to work. But yeah, like you're right. It's very interesting, and I don't think the things behind the scenes are going as amicable as everybody likes to say.
I'm gonna start doing some digging on it because I want to know. Because I've heard that it's not as awesome behind the scenes as it was, but now with everything that started to happen here and starting to notice that we're through eight rounds, it's not just super motocross, because to be honest, they say, oh, this is the 8th round of the Supercross title and
They were saying that for
8th round of Super Motocross. But that's basically what we've heard up until last night when all of a sudden, oh, we've got these 3 SMX rounds at the end of the year. You know,
Maybe
the
they're gonna
playoffs.
start pushing it now that we actually
Maybe
know where
we'll
the
see
venues
as we
are.
go forward here. But I'm gonna start digging here and see if I can find out some.
I'll be more devil's advocate, I guess, here because I think it's obvious that WSX isn't going to be much of a threat, at least as right now. It doesn't seem to be that way. And maybe it was so in our face last year
Maybe.
that they backed it off a notch, and it feels a little weird that it's not so in our face. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll be willing to bet we get to outdoors and we don't hear SMX being talked about too much until we get to the end of the season.
Well, you and I heard last year at Chicago that the SMX stuff was very Feld driven,
Yeah.
per se. So
Yeah, of course it ain't coming from Davey. and
here's the
Gary
thing. Here's the thing. If you want it all to work, again, like I just said here in my rant, we need a Dana White character that is the overlord, essential, for lack of a better term, of all of it.
We're not.
And we're not going to get that
No.
as long as the powers that be are the powers that be right now, because we basically got one that runs the playoffs in the first half, and then we've got the other ones that own the other part. So if they want this to really work, somebody's going to have to buy somebody else out.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Things
And
or
I think
somebody big is going to have to come in and just buy it all. Period.
Mm-hmm. And it's only going to work one way with the powers that have it right now. So
I unfortunately don't think there's going to be a person that's going to come in and buy all of it.
I don't think so either. Maybe
I don't think that
Can we-
person exists.
Do you know you have Lawrence Stroll's number? Maybe he's.
Lawrence Stroll doesn't put money into things. Only puts money into 2 things. If
Things
it's
he can
going to
get a return
profit,
on?
if it's going to be a profit or return, and if his son's involved.
I bet we could. I bet this is probably.
I was just blown away.
He
off
bought
topic.
Aston Martin.
And very off topic. Like
Jesus.
I just started
he
watching
blows
that
out
last
his wrist,
night.
and like, what kind of money did he pay for that surgery for him to be okay? Like,
I don't think it matters.
bro.
Yeah, I don't think it fucking matters.
You know?
Bro. Look,
You go buy
here's the
Aston
thing.
Martin?
Here's
Like, what the
here-
fuck?
Here's,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Lance Stroll is the coach's kid of
He's-
Formula One,
But he's also very good though. He's
He
not like a
doesn't matter.
He's not
Doesn't
like
matter.
a he's not
Doesn't
like a
matter.
Nikita Mazepin.
can't drive,
or,
Hey, do you want to tell me?
oh, he's always gonna have a
no,
seat.
no,
Nick
no, no,
DeVries.
no. I'll tell you, as a kid,
Don't
who,
make fun of Nick DeVries.
as a kid who comes from, because I know you guys were more moto-based kids. As a kid who comes from team sports with the coach's kids,
I mean, I was involved with a coach's kid situation.
the respect that he has is zero.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. He'll win that world championship,
Well,
and all the other
and
19 drivers are still going to
And
be
Fernando
like, yeah, you
only
fucking
respects
suck.
him because his dad's paying him to respect him.
No,
Fernando don't give a shit about anybody.
There isn't a one of those 19 other drivers on the grid that respects him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just the coach's kid. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, the
so you
difference
think
is,
you can come here and just buy wins, and they're all pissed
That's
about
exactly
that, yeah.
Well-
yeah, no, and I mean that's exactly what it is. And again, having played sports and grown up with playing sports where the coach's kid had skills, but you're still the coach's kid,
Yeah.
and
Favoritism.
everyone else is still poking holes in every single part of your game. So
Yeah,
like
we
I
don't
said,
have any coaches' kids in moto.
the funniest
No.
the funniest thing though that I found out, and then we'll get to wherever we're going. The last thing I have to say about that, the funniest thing in Drive to Survive is at the beginning when they were going through the whole segment of Lawrence Stroll, and they were talking about that off-season party, and they were like doing the whole thing where like they're on the phone, they're like on the radio, oh,
Yeah.
Lawrence is almost here, he's almost flying in or whatever, and then Toto rolls up, and they're like, oh yeah, you have to be checked in, and Lawrence rolls up, he's like, oh no, this is for, and I'm like, I understand this is Lawrence Stroll party, but Toto Wolff's also a billionaire. He also runs one of the most successful teams to ever
Is he
exist.
a billionaire?
Yeah, he's a billionaire,
How?
dude. He owns the Mercedes-Benz race team.
Does
That's
he
his
own
team.
it?
Yeah, that's his team.
I watched an interesting video about
He's a
that
fucking
guy
billionaire.
that owned Formula One there up until recently when they sold it.
Oh yeah.
Off the rails here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched a thing, and that was super interesting how he ended up with it.
Formula One is a very
The business side of it's cool, and
the
I wish
business-
we had more of a talking side of that in our
It
sport.
is super duper
the business
dirty.
The business side, yeah, the business side of Formula One. If I was ever to say a motorsport should replicate their business model behind another one, it'd be Formula One. Nothing compares to it.
Yeah.
Like, I know I sound like a homer, but like it's very obvious.
I'll tell you, listening to the way that guy weaseled his way into owning all the rights of Formula One and everything, I'm like, I need to watch this video a few more times here because this could be lucrative. I'll send it to you. It's on YouTube. It's only like 15, 20 minutes long.
Send it to me if you remember.
There's so much money at Formula One. It's
so anyway, so those are my Holster Co. Reload rants. Did you ever rant?
My rant was just like how dirt ass everybody looked storming the track with riders on the track.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And the goggle ripping was pretty dirt ass.
Yeah, it was
too.
terrible. It was a horrible look.
But I mean, where do you put it into perspective, though? I'm sure shit happens like that in other sports that we don't even know about.
I mean, it happens in college sports every day or every game.
I mean, yeah,
when
like
they rush
guys
the court,
walking up stealing LeBron's shoes off the court.
When they rush the court, when they everybody jumps the barriers on the
malice in the palace.
That was fucking stupid. But that's the thing though, is they're getting to the point that they're trying to get away from that because so many people have gotten injured over the years.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. Any other Holster Co. Reload rants from you?
Nope, because I think that whole thing was fucking stupid.
Those have been your Holster Co. Reload rants.
Nope, you're out.
Anybody got anything else they want to talk about halftime wise here?
No, let's get into the 250s.
Oh, hold on. I got one more thing.
All right.
How about the fact that we have Ducati commercials already?
I love it.
Interesting.
Well, that was just like, and they pulled the biggest beverage company in already.
I'm not a huge fan of Ash Dirt Shark, but his video with Cairoli was good.
It's just because
his videos have been coming around.
No, his videos are good. I don't like really him as a person.
Well, that's
apparently also.
The software will pick that one up too.
It's okay, man. Sounds like everybody in the freestyle side of things don't like him either. What's his name that was just on Jason's podcast? Is it Jacko?
Oh,
or Bilko?
Bilko.
Yeah, like fucking Ash got in and called him like a pussy because he wouldn't fucking backflip after he came back from an injury. And Bilko looked at him. He's like, "Do you fucking even ride?"
Yeah.
Ash thinks he's because fucking he's related to Axel.
Interesting.
Yeah, I used to be kind of an Axel homer or a hater, but I'm a little more of a homer now because
I like his shit now that he has nothing to do with racing a dirt bike anymore.
Yeah, like his dude, he does some incredible shit.
And I'll be honest with you, who would not want to live his life?
Oh, he lives a badass life.
Like, you have all the money in the world. You don't ever actually have to do anything. You get to ride dirt bikes for a living. You get to literally travel the world.
Your girlfriend also makes millions.
Yeah. Like,
is she an OnlyFans chick?
She just I think she's dabbling in it now, but I think she was originally a fitness gal.
She looks like she would have been in fitness.
I don't know.
She does all the fitness thing, and then obviously you got a shitload of followers, and then he had a shitload of followers, so they just combined followers basically. And because a bunch of horny moto dudes want to follow a chick.
And I'll also say this about Axel: take out what you actually feel about him as a person, and it's all like a facade and it's bullshit for the camera.
I think it's real on the camera.
That's what I was about to say. His vlogs, like when I think it was 2 years ago when he did, I don't know if it was, no, it wasn't X Games, it couldn't have been at the timing, but he did an event for Nitro Circus, and then he hopped on a plane, and he flew to the GNCC at Ironman, and he did that thing, and just like the whole, like his interaction with all the people, and then go into like whatever, like it was one of the satellite Cowie teams or whatever gave him a bike. I'm like, if this is who he really is, like if this is not just bullshit ploy, like he's actually a down-to-earth person.
Well, that and, well, his dad seems very down to earth in some other interviews.
Seems crazy as fuck though.
Yeah, but
he's got a lot of money.
Packaging company.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of money.
Anyway, people can say things about a lot of money, but if you have a lot of money and turn it into more money, I respect you.
Yeah,
and that's what they did. They just didn't sit on the money and just be like, "Oh,
look, I'd like to live his life."
But no, he just got really real. He's like, man, I really pushed for Axel to go on the Nitro Circus tour after Pat had passed away, a good buddy of his, and then that really helped him because he had like a family environment around him, being on tour every week, like really grounded him, stuff like that, like life shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just even the funny stuff like forgets his gear bag all the time and dumb shit like that, like Twitch always talking shit to him. Like, I like it.
He can also get fucking horizontal on a dirt bike. So,
dude, you know who's really coming around in the free ride world is Patrick Evans. You watched some of his stuff lately?
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny too because I remember him when he was a nobody, fucking trying to get into Club MX on a beat up 125, and now
his dad was the agent for JGR.
Yeah,
that's where he got some of his stuff. You
also know, off topic again, but you also know who's getting pretty big in that world now and has for the last year? Nick Thomasounis.
Oh yeah. He's gotten very big.
He's been doing the Stark reviews and all that shit.
You seen the Oakley commercial?
No, I have not seen that.
The Oakley commercial on Supercross is him.
No shit. Yeah. No, nice. Good for him.
Interesting.
Good for him.
Yeah, he built a compound at his house.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey man, he's got skills. Nick's a good rider. I mean, he's a good racer in his own right.
Don't wear 2 different colored boots. You'll get unfollowed on Instagram.
But back to your Ducati thing. I like it.
I mean, for a bike that's not coming until 2026, and Triumph, we couldn't get nothing but grainy photos
What
until
do
the
you-
day before they showed up to race.
What do you think? Yeah, now all of a sudden the tests have been all over the place since they finally got their hands on the
The
bike.
super interesting thing
Do
to
you
me
watch
about Triumph is when they came. Did you listen to Pulp with them on it last week? There was all sorts of different guys. From Six Time was on there to the guy in charge of Triumph
It
Racing.
was just a Triumph show.
Yeah, basically. Well, because that's what he was doing. He was down there for that test or whatever.
Oh, with Kiefer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all of them. Yeah, it was him, Michael Lindsay, Kiefer, Michael Lindsay,
Dude.
and Mathis were all there for it.
Glowing reviews though from pretty much every test I've seen.
Everybody likes that
Like,
bike.
That bike sounds good.
Every test, whether it be Lindsay, Kiefer, I think it's Tyler Livesay at Verb, like everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody has had one bad thing to say about that bike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
It's funny too because must be the last time Savachi was on Pulp. He kind of dropped that and I guess I didn't even pay attention to this. That he was going to be riding 450s next year.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we weren't really ready to put out that we were coming out with the 450 yet.
Oh, they all signed like hardcore, gnarly NDAs.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
But speaking of Ducati though, you guys like the commercial? I think
Yeah.
it's good. I think it's good.
Did you watch that video?
I got to get my shit together. I want one of those when they come out to test.
So what's the track that's got the huge?
Mantova.
Maybe it's got like the 2
Big
things at
hills.
the end.
Yeah, the Italian ones.
Yeah,
There's
the video of him and Alessandro Lupino.
And the track is just beat.
Mantova.
Yeah,
Mantova. And
You watched that video too?
Yeah, yeah, and
If they're developing that bike on some shit like that, whew.
Oh yeah, and once again, Tony, no better person to test a bike.
Well, I was watching him. I'm like, oh my god, he looks slow, but I think that's
But
just
then
how
you're like,
gnarly
this
that
track is
is.
fucking. You're just thinking the whole time, and you're like, oh, bike actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That bike's going to be good.
dude.
That bike's going to be really good.
It's also funny too, is like from a former mechanic watching the engineers, like them working on the bike, and just the difference of. And this is going to sound really stupid, but like the difference when you
talk shit about Triumph again.
No, I'm talking. No, it's about Ducati.
Oh.
Watching in that video, watching how the mechanics and the engineers interact with like moving parts around and just how they go about working on a bike. I'm just like, yep, nope, they are not gonna fail. They are just not gonna fail.
No.
You got like 9 guys looking over one part, and you're like,
No, and
yep,
I told you the plan last week, right? Was that they're coming in to pull budget back away from MotoGP because KTM is on the come up.
because the main guy from
yeah, because I didn't really realize when it was first brought up of like how they were trying to pull stuff away from KTM and MotoGP because I knew KTM had been in MotoGP for a few years, but I didn't know what the situation was. But I guess the situation is they're on the precipice of making some developments. They're going to make them really, really good and really battle Ducati. And so Ducati said, well, F you, we're going to come shit in your Cheerios over here so that you have to come put people back over here to be able to continue to do what you're doing over here.
I think they're going to.
We'll
to.
see.
Because if that bike already looks that good right away,
There's a lot of money there, dude. There's a lot of money.
It's going to
in
be
this.
very interesting, but I think it's really cool.
I want to see who the team is that they're.
I think that
They said
team.
JGR is going to run it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they're
that's
in the
one of them
running.
that said that they've got it, but Club is saying
Depends
the
on
same
who
thing.
they're throwing
I don't
money
want
at.
club.
man.
I don't want club
I
anywhere
don't
near
think
that.
Club would
I
be
don't.
good.
I know.
But they just want. But again, too, the team is mostly for this. We'll call it infrastructure of getting to and from the races type thing over here, so they don't have to start ground up. I think it's interesting. Triumph doesn't have a title sponsor yet.
I could see Club just because they have a compound and all that there. Already.
You know what? You know would already be perfect. Already proved they can take a team from nothing and put it into something. Hep.
Well, they're another one that I've heard.
Hep would be perfect. Dude, Dustin Pipes would be perfect
Hep
for running
would be
that program.
good. I think JGR.
I think the problem with Hep though is Hep does not have a compound.
No, but you get back from Ducati, they'd figure out a way to find the money.
But what I mean is they don't have. I don't think their compound that they have in California has the room for an outdoor facility, from what I understand.
Oh, they'll go buy something.
I think
else.
they'd find it. I think they'd find a way.
I don't know.
I'm all about it though, and I firmly believe, depending on who's on the team, that team wins the championship within the first 3 years.
I would say probably. So it'll be interesting
it's
to
gonna
see
be
who
good.
they sign. It'll be interesting to see.
And I'm ready to see what that 250F looks
Still
like.
I
here
love
in
it.
26.
I'm all
More
about it,
talking
dude.
points.
I'm all about it. I'm all
But
about it.
guess who's going to win again?
Who?
Kawasaki.
Oh boy, here we go.
Kawasaki's going back to the top, dude.
All right, so that's been.
I mean, you do think about it though. I sound biased, but
You are. It's fine.
are. It's
but
totally
I
fine.
didn't
paid to be
realize how
biased?
much they've
They're
legitimately actually won.
They're signing your paychecks, so it's cool.
Yeah, you get paid to be biased.
But think about it though, Villapoto 4 in a row, and then you had the Tomac era, and then before that you had Carmichael winning on them, like Stewart, like whew, that's a run.
A lot of number one.
That's a pretty run.
You didn't win shit in the 80s and the 90s, but you definitely took up the 2000s.
No, I mean pro circuit even in the beginning too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I mean, if you go back to the early Pro Circuit days, what it was
And they're
Honda.
starting to get it back together a little bit. Knock on wood, pro circuit.
I mean, dude, they're looking at possibly they could win 250 championships this year.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Oh boy. Anyway, all right. That's been your Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. Make sure to check them out. CompleteRacingSolutions.com.
That was
your
a
whole scroll
long
reload
halftime
rant.
report.
In links in the description down below. Okay.
250s.
Time to get this show wrapped up here. 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at 50 Grafx for all your custom graphics needs. Good, small, hometown, mom and pop shop there to help you out with those. I actually just got the bike in here today. Weather's turning good. We've got to do some testing on a lubricant product.
What's up
And
with your grip over there?
which one?
The one on the right.
I don't know.
Forgot the glue?
No, those are lock-ons.
Those are ODIs.
Then why you got the waffle on the top and then the other one, the waffle's on the bottom?
The waffle's on the top on both of them. That one's just
Yeah,
twisted slightly more. The
ODI 's a
waffle's in
little
the
weird,
front.
man.
You run the waffle on the top?
Yeah,
What?
it's just the way I like to grip it.
Yeah,
Have
it's a
you
little-
ever seen this?
No, it's a little weird. I was seeing that same thing too. I was like, that's odd.
Where are you supposed to run the waffle?
The waffle goes on
Waffle
the bottom.
goes on the ground, underneath.
Like it faces
Like
the
faces
ground.
the
Yeah,
ground?
Yeah.
So when you're
What the fuck
So
good
when you're
does that
grabbing
do
your
for you?
grip
yeah, when
it.
your fingers are gripping around it, it actually has a contact
I want the
point.
cushion on my fucking hand.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. That's how I ride.
That's not a cushion. The waffle is not a cushion.
Well, fuck me.
The waffle is made for grip, is it not?
Yeah, no, it is. You want your palm as flat as possible. You don't even want your palm doing like one of these.
Hey, guys. That's how my grips have been on my bike.
I mean, dude,
since I
like,
started
hey,
running them.
hey,
You know,
anytime-
you know what makes a lot of sense.
Whatever you're comfortable with, that's all that matters. But like, you would never see somebody with the waffle up.
I mean, I guess I could turn them. They're just lock-ons, so all I gotta do is loosen it and
Oh
turn
my,
it.
I can't wait for y'all's nuts to flame
Y'all's
you.
nuts.
Flame you in the comments. There's
Y'all's
gonna be
nuts.
some flames in the comments.
Y'all
Like
nuts.
I've never
Hey.
seen anybody run grips like this.
It's a little
Hey,
weird.
those purple bars are sweet, right?
Oh, good.
Did I get those for you?
No.
They're
honestly-
coming back with them.
Yeah, I
honestly,
know.
should go back to the blue plastic though.
Well, I got white ones over there for the retro kit for Redbud.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Redbud. Yeah.
Look, man, what else can I flame you on?
I don't know. It's probably not that
I don't
clean.
know. The grip thing is a little weird.
Look,
The bars are a little far forward too. You need to roll those back a
no
little
one
bit.
ever taught. I'm not Ricky
Or RJ.
or RJ.
I'd just try it.
Or Clement de Sol.
Oh boy.
Just try rolling the bars.
I mean, I can do some testing.
Just try
Do
it.
you want to come over and wrench for me while I do testing?
Yeah,
can you adjust
I'm
my
down.
bars,
I'm down.
clickers,
Just
and stuff
case
for
that
me?
jump out there again, and they'll fold back down.
Fuck, I don't want to do that, dude. if I fucking get hurt on the first ride, I may sell all the bikes and just call it quits.
All right, 250s.
All right,
Get into it.
50 Grafx. 15% off discount code. Link in the description down below.
Hey, sir. Good job for being on the Vialle bandwagon.
Tom
Hey,
Vialle
I called
wins.
Vialle.
Good job.
Hey, you know what Vialle does not do?
What?
He runs the waffles on the bottom.
Oh my god. Here we go.
You know who runs a full waffle though?
Oh,
Eli
boy.
Tomac.
Eli Tomac.
Oh, see, so a full waffle. The waffles would be
By the way,
where mine
but
are.
that'd be all the way
By the
around.
way,
Okay, who gives a shit? Jesus.
anybody that runs a full waffle is like a psychopath.
I think AC's running them, and I don't know if that's because like it's more of like a ribbed feeling where you can feel
yeah,
it a
good
little.
for her.
for her pleasure.
Eli's
I
running.
don't know. Maybe you can like feel it in his hand. a little more.
Eli's running a full waffle, and I've said this to him: the narrowest bar bend I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
Somebody told me he does something weird, or somebody did something really weird where they'd run a full waffle and then cut all the waffles down.
I've heard
That's
that
like
too.
Somebody
I
did that, and I don't
who,
remember who
but
it
yeah,
That's
was.
like
I've heard
super
that.
particular,
Anyway, that sounds like a French thing. Speaking of French riders,
like a Porcel thing.
Vialle, is he Muskin 2.0?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hey,
we think?
Hey,
Oh,
did
man.
you like the comment of, yeah, I talked to his trainer Marvin Muskin and they said that they really have a connection, and in my mind I'm like, it's probably because they both speak French. Like, duh, I don't know where else we could go with this.
I think that's a good move.
I was so happy last night when he won.
He looked really, really good.
I was so happy.
Yeah, that was a good race for
He
him,
was
man.
Like-
smooth and dialed.
Oh
and
my god! Because like here's the thing.
You were just like, finally, after 10 years, I finally called somebody to win a fucking race.
No,
No,
I
Ainsley
got
did
that all
win.
the time. I got that all the time. It's the fact of like how much I
And he's a
talked.
GP guy coming
Yeah,
to America.
talking about
That's just
Tom.
him.
Not that, GP guys haven't
Big
done well,
GP guy
but
over here
Big
winning
GP
Daytona.
guy
But
over
a
here.
GP guy finally won
Well,
Daytona.
Daytona.
Finally won
Holy
Daytona.
shit.
Hey, finally won Daytona in convincing fashion too, by the way. No, just it would have been really disappointing. Like I wouldn't have cared because I still think he's going to win outdoor titles and stuff. But like it would have been really disappointing if he came over here and he would just continue to struggle, like maybe get on the box, get some 4th and 5th, and then just never really got Supercross figured out. Second year, so like it's not like he had time. But first win. Only took him 13 starts. I understand it's Daytona. Everybody's like, oh, and people were already saying on the reaction show, it's Daytona, it's anomaly, whatever. Are we going to take away Jett's win because it was Daytona? No. It's Daytona. They're racing what's put in front of him, and that track's more Supercross these days with a soft top layer. But it's like, dude, he won it. I understand Cameron made a mistake, but he ran down McAdoo, and then he gapped his ass.
Yep.
And then I was looked at his lap time. His fastest lap time was almost like 1.8 faster than everybody else's.
Wow.
So, dude,
Are you sure? Because if not, they're going to come for you in the
Yeah, it's
comments
fine.
here
Yeah,
about
whatever.
us not
Y'all's
having
not.
shit
Well,
together.
there was the one guy that was on the comments. He was like, Tomac didn't run this. And then like 3 other people were like, did you
Yeah.
actually look at the sheet?
Because you're wrong, sir.
No, I was all about it, man. I was super stoked for him.
No, that was cool.
That's cool. I like the parody, and it's keeping this championship really alive.
Dude,
Would anybody have ever
you see the
thought?
points in this
Top
championship?
7 or within
would,
5?
would you have called after round 2 or round 3 that Vialle would be ahead of Deegan in the points?
No.
I wouldn't have called Cody Shock 4 back either.
Holy
No.
shit. I'm all about it though, man. And I really think that it's not like everybody that's going to go on this whole like train of thought that, oh, it's Daytona, it's Daytona. Keep in mind, we haven't really gotten to see, because people made this comment, oh, we'll get back to Birmingham, normal Supercross, and he won't do shit. Well, let's see. He gets third in his heat race in Detroit, qualifies really great, and then ragdolls himself, goes end over end.
Yeah, I agreed.
And then there's apparently, and I didn't even know this, his mechanic was like, yeah, for like the last 5 minutes of that main, he was running faster lap times than everybody else, and we wouldn't have saw that because like they wouldn't have been showing that.
No.
And then he works his way towards the third from a shit start in the next race. So it's like, I don't really think it almost dies in practice. I don't
I
think
didn't
we've
see
really.
it. Was it bad?
That was the one section that Fortner, like, dude, I thought he wasn't
Yeah.
going to race that.
No.
night. Yeah,
I
it was
didn't see
bad.
the crash. Was it?
I
No,
haven't
nobody
seen the
saw
crash.
it. I just
No.
saw him getting picked up by
Yeah.
the medics.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
So it's like,
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Oh, boy, here we
I'm
go.
very,
We're in
very
a
sorry.
tangent
but
here.
Go ahead.
The medic thing made me think of this, and I missed it in the rant. The medic mule parked on that lane, and Jalek Swoll almost smokes it. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
Lorenzo
Yeah.
Lacurcio went over the
Yeah.
tunnel.
Yeah.
Bikes land there, and they parked the mule right in the middle of the fucking track.
yeah, man, they're just
Yeah.
doing great in the public eye right now.
Like, the mule, you could have parked it under the tunnel. Nobody's using that part of the track.
Nope, we can't do that.
But instead, let's put another rider in danger.
Yep, nope, it's fine.
Okay, that's it. Sorry.
But nope.
Anyway.
Super happy for Tom. I think he's going to continue this rolling.
Super pumped. Finally, a GP guy won Daytona for Justin.
Super pumped.
So now he can live the rest of his life happy. 'cause
Yes, I can.
He got one GP guy to win a fucking
Wow,
Daytona
finally.
race.
Yep,
Finally.
and it was fucking Tom Vialle.
Yep.
All
And
about
I
I
called
can
it.
die.
I
can
called
die.
it. You didn't.
You did.
Yep,
You
so-
did. I can die happy.
All right, Cameron McAdoo got second.
Apparently has a ruptured tib fib. Or tib. Ruptured tibia. Fractured tibia.
Tibia.
Yeah. So his balls are just ginormous.
That's pretty gnarly, honestly.
Yeah, it is. It's really it.
Yeah,
That
you
is-
ever-
Ryan Hughes-ish.
That is very Ryan Hughes-ish.
well, you know,
Hughes-ish.
it's
Hughes-ish.
like if people knew that, then him and Deegan would be on like the same level of riding when no one else really would.
Which leg is it? Deegan's going to take it out.
Deegan's
probably.
gonna
He
blow
might
your leg
actually.
up.
Probably.
He might
aim
actually.
right for
He's
it.
just gonna run it in.
Really thought actually
Center
we were
punch your
going to
ass.
see Deegan a little more spicy last night with running it in on people there at the beginning, but we
Be
did
careful,
not.
man. Be careful. You've already gotten lit up from last night. People calling you stupid.
That's fine.
What did he say last night?
Oh, he said he choked. People are like,
Do
fucking
you like
joke.
how I put that clickbait in there?
Look, I do think he choked, but we'll get into that. But, man, McAdoo is...
Wackadoo.
Man, I just... Like, you know how he's, like, giving 120% kind of guy?
Yeah, I'm
If
pretty
he
sure
could
that
just
showed
give
years
it,
ago.
95, I think he could win the title.
He'd run away with these.
Even though I said he's flat, but his flat is better than the rest of these guys right now.
Nope, you're 100% right. If
I mean,
And
He went-
Hamilton could even show up, too.
Seth rode good last night. We'll get to him. He keeps winning. He's won every heat race so far this year. Mm-hmm. So McAdoo.
Yeah, and
He's three. He's 3 for 3, right?
It was really funny watching those guys just rip, and then get to the whoops and basically stop and be like, "What the fuck are we supposed to do with these?"
so what was the off-season injury for McAdoo?
I
Was
have
it
no
the
idea.
tibia?
I have no idea.
Had to have been. 'Cause
No.
Do you think? Because everybody said he's struggling pretty hard and
I
limping.
feel like there was something else that was
Shoulder, wrist?
I don't
I don't know.
remember. I don't know. No,
Because there was the off-season
but I
injury
feel
that
like I heard
everybody
it
was pretty
something else. I
quiet
don't
about.
feel like it was that.
Anyway,
I think, yeah, I mean, dude, he is definitely,
Letting it all hang out, dude.
Just let it all hang out.
Let it hang out.
Let it hang, baby.
is he slightly the favorite over everybody to win this title right now?
No.
Man, I think it's. I
don't think he is. I'm just asking
You got to
a
throw.
I said it in the reaction show last night. Him and Hammaker. It's sad to say, but it's like the Forkner thing. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop because it's going to at some point.
Hopefully
and if
not.
he's riding with
I
a
hope not.
fucking cracked fib or whatever the fuck it is, like at what point does that cause you to be weak on that side, and then that causes something major to happen? This is the kind of stuff that coach preaches about all the time of like quit
riding
being an
with
idiot.
a little bit of an injury.
Like
and
you're riding with that, like, dude, at some point you're gonna hit something and that is going to give out. And then
Fortner
what
talked about his arm giving out because he's had injuries on that side.
Yep. And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up with a Forkner issue
I
like
tell you
that.
what, though, man, you watch Cameron ride though with his technique, and you would not think he has any leg issues, man. That dude is just solid, low in the cradle, and he is just
Yeah. I definitely want to wrap the show up with Fortner's video, though.
Yeah.
We can
Got
talk
some
about that,
comments
yeah,
on
dude.
that.
But yeah, I think I mean second was good last night. Like he out of any place that it could have really gone south for him, he managed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Hammaker third.
Seth rode well.
PC
Yeah.
podium, baby. That
Yeah.
could have been 1, 2, 3 if our boy was in there.
Hey
Yep.
man, and he definitely laid the wood to Deegan. Deegan closed up on him, and Hammaker just walked away from him.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hammaker is another guy I think that just needs to finish the season.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen that dude come out and win wire to wire. How many wins he got? 2? He's got at least 1.
He's got one. I think it's
see
only
here.
one, but he's got a bunch of podiums up to that point.
Like
Well,
that-
remember the start of 2022 when he went back-to-back thirds and he was leading races?
I remember that win, and I was like, holy shit, where did that come from?
The thing about
He won Arlington
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
I remember that.
2021.
thing about Seth is, man, and my only peeve with him is he just melts late in the mains. If he gets over that, dude, he can win titles.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's clearly fast enough.
Again,
He's just got to make it through.
other shoe's gonna drop, man. It
God, I hope
sucks
not.
to suck. It sucks to say, but
Sucks to
Conspiracy
suck.
guy
Suck.
here, but do you think the devil monster claw has anything to do
Oh
with
my
it?
No,
God,
God.
stop.
I've
not
seen
going
a
down that.
I've seen a post going down that road.
Stop.
It's like
did you read it?
it was about Fortner's bike being like satanically blessed or some shit.
I don't. I'm not sure. I like our boy Rigsby's post.
We could have saved that for the TLR tinfoil hat.
Yeah. Is Rigsby down those roads?
I don't know. He was
Wouldn't
talking
surprise
about,
me if
he was
Denver
talking
is.
about AT&T going out.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I was asking if he was down those roads. Because
I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me. Denver's that type of person.
Anyway, all
Denver's
right.
Denver, too.
Yeah, no, Denver is Denver.
Dean's Dean. Now it's time for our Isaac Nelson Designs.
Do you get any traction on that video? I haven't looked yet.
No.
No, not really. No, that I fucked that up. Again with the family stuff I was dealing with this week. That's why we only put out the Deegan Danger Zone video and not the 450 race recap too. And I fucked it up, and it went live without a thumbnail. And so I was just it's been a long week, man. It's been a long week. So that video probably would have got a lot more traction had I done it correctly. But whatever, it is what it is.
Are you still on the train that they took it?
Took what?
They took it from you.
I don't know, but I own DeeganDangerZone.com and I own DeeganDangerZone.shop or something. I don't know. I bought two the other night.
So
Did you buy the trademark yet?
No, I haven't
That's
bought
where
that.
it gets
No, I
important.
haven't
So
bought
my
that
question
yet.
to you is that are you still on board that this is Deegan's title to lose now?
Yes.
How do you figure?
Well, so we lost our edge a little bit the last
Oh,
night.
you're a wee guy. So he's your 250 Jet?
No.
God, I hope not. We're not going to talk to
Oh,
him.
we're going down that road.
Yeah.
No. I'm not
I
jumping.
mean, dude,
I'm
he
not
wasn't
jumping
even
on
looking
the
super spicy up until that crash either.
I mean, dude, he was
That
looking
crash was
okay, and then you ejecto seat off a triple there, and
You're going to be a little shook.
that's gonna shake you.
Yeah.
I like how he's like, yeah, rid my butt cheeks. he said that, I was like
Dude,
laughing
like
so hard,
Brayton and Dan Hubbard were like
dying,
just trying so hard
not to
Yeah.
laugh. But I mean, because that was gnarly, dude. And so I mean, to come out the rest of the day and then do what he did, which is get fourth. Okay, I mean, dude, he's 3 points out.
Yeah.
I think for him, I think that was humbling for him to crash like that
I think
after
so,
watching
too.
Fortner do that shit last week. If he would have been a little further to the left, he'd been Fortner.
I mean,
think
if he's 5 feet shorter, he's Forknered because he's breaking something. Then
Yeah, I think he's just
like
I think
he
it was
got lucky.
I think he just needs to be humbled, period. Because last year, the whole story around him was get through the season, learn, no pressure, and he went out there and did phenomenal.
Then he wins a heat race, and then he leads a main. And
Yeah, and now this year, he gets a win, let's be honest, kind of given to him.
he did.
They want him to win.
come for you. Don't
They want
worry.
him to win a title now.
Yep.
And is he going to try a little hard and get sketchy? He looked a little like he was trying a little hard and got sketchy. Did he back it down last night? I didn't have see the camera on him enough to know if he
I
backed
felt
it
like
down,
he didn't have
but
the edge all day after that crash.
I don't think so either.
He lacked that Deegan danger zone mentality.
Yeah,
I mean, had it been-
you didn't see that just like,
No.
dude, he's grinding.
No.
Like, he
Well,
grinds.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, had it been anybody else other than Pierce Brown behind him the whole entire time, he wouldn't have got fourth.
I really was waiting for Pierce to just light him up, dude. To
Yeah,
be
Pierce's
honest
line
with you.
selection sucks ass, so
Because-
that's never going to happen.
I got to rewatch the race.
Well, I
but-
mean, he lit Swole up.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to let
I was
Deegan
waiting
up.
for something like that to
I don't
happen.
think he wants to go down that road. He doesn't.
But-
want
yeah, I just think it's going to be very interesting. Just how he deals with pressure, I guess, because I think it's different this year.
I'll say this about Deegan. I think that at any point this season, in whether it be a heat race or main, if he gets a start, I think he's like if he rips a holy, he's out front. He can just kind of ride
He's
his
going
own
to
race.
grind, yeah.
He's gonna. Is that gonna be your thing though?
I really thought he was
Dude,
gonna,
he is a fucking
No,
grinder.
he's grinding, dude.
And
He's a
really-
dog.
I
He's a
really
He's
dog.
fucking gritty.
But here's the thing,
I
and
thought
I'll
he
say
was
this.
going to do it last night.
Here's the thing. I think if he's out, like if he rips, not that he can't work his way through the pack. This is not what this is. I think he can. He obviously has done it before. What I'm saying is that if he's out front and he's got a clear track and he can just sprint away and put in heaters
Like
and then
he-
just kind of
yeah.
control what's going on around him, he's fine. But I think at any point this season where he's working his way through the pack, now that everybody knows what to expect from him, and no, don't jump on me. I'm not calling him a dirty rider. If everybody's going to go down that road, we're not going back to last year
Bro,
with
they're going
Hunter.
to jump on us no
Somebody's
matter what.
going to
so
shove it
just-
back at him.
But what I'm saying is
At some
that
point.
Pierce Brown.
look at last night. Like when he was in the mix, having to like think about what he's going to do when he was latched on to close to Seth, having to defend lines with Pierce behind him. Like even in the heat races that he's been in this year, I think that if he's in the pack, kind of like what I've said about Jett in the past to a lesser extent, because Jett is he has more race IQ than Haiden does and ever will. I'm gonna get flamed for that too. I don't care. I think now that people know what to expect with him, not leaving the door open and not giving him an inch, I think it's going to be a lot harder for him when he's in a group of people. Not that he can't pass him, go around him, whatever, but I think the likelihood of him winning any race this year where he has to work his way through the pack is very, very slim as opposed to he rips a start, he's going to set sail. Because we know that he's got so much intensity just in general as a person, but in those beginning laps, because once again,
he's
still,
more of a mid to end guy. Like he's
Yeah.
gritty from the mid to the end.
So if he's got that intensity where he's got a clear track and he can pull a gap and then manage that gap, and we know he's not going to fade. Once again, he proved that a lot in outdoors. Washu, we'll just go watch both of those motos. But I think at any point he gets a bad start, I would almost bet money that he's not going to win that race. Because I don't think.
We'll see. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he's still out of
No,
all
he's
these
still-
guys,
yeah.
he's still the most consistent one. He's still right there. The title.
Yeah, his,
That's debatable.
I mean, you're
Going off last year. You're not going off this year.
But you're throwing it out. He's had a first turn crash
So
with
did
a
McAdoo.
handlebar down here.
So did
He was 16. Yeah, but he doesn't have a history of hitting the deck like McAdoo does.
That was his rookie year, though.
I go
he
back.
already hit the deck once this
Okay.
season.
Look.
McAdoo hasn't hit the ground yet.
Guess what? I go back.
He hit the deck. If that are you okay, I'm not counting the start because the start that was not his fault.
So McAdoo 0
Okay.
crashes. Haiden Deegan 1 big one.
Okay, if McAdoo
I'm not saying
has
McAdoo's
the
not going
same
to crash.
no. Here's what I'm saying. If McAdoo has the same thing happen off that triple that
Yeah, of
Haiden
course.
did, McAdoo is hurt.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but we're talking about
Because that's
right
McAdoo's
now.
luck.
We're talking about crashing right now, and once again, this is going to be another thing I'm going to get flamed. A lot of people in Hayden's situation. I'll bring Hunter into this. Mm-hmm. You could tell from the get-go that back end bouncing around and those square edges coming out of that rut. Hunter, I'm going to shut off. I'm not going to get the drive to get over the triple.
Yeah.
Hayden dropped in. Hips were leaning left.
I
he
saw that bike
cross-rutted.
bouncing. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah,
sketchy."
I'm watching
And
that whole
sure shit,
thing, dude. I'm watching that sidewall fucking go up and down, bouncing around, and then he stood up, and then his hips kind of leaned in, and he already got cross-rutted.
And then it popped the front wheel up.
And then
I
he
was
tried
like,
to seat bounce it to try to grab traction and straighten out. And Hayden's got a lot of natural talent, but there's sometimes you're just not going to be able to do things. I'm just saying, I think a more seasoned person would have been like,
That was an 18-year-old kid jump there.
Yeah.
That was exactly what that was.
And I am not taking. Hey, man, I'm glad he's okay because
Me
had
too.
he got hurt, I'm
Me
like,
too.
oh fuck,
Yep.
here we go.
I go back to the pressure thing just because, like, he came into futures, right, that first race, and everybody was like, he's got this, no problem. He's got to win it. He kind of imploded.
Yep.
He did.
So then he went to the big leagues early with, like, no expectation, stuff like that. Do we see that again?
I think if
I
this,
don't know.
if this continues to happen, we go to Birmingham and then we go to Indy, and he continues to be kind of up and down. I think there's a level of validity to that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dude, he's obviously in
Yeah.
this. There's no clear favorite. That's
No,
not.
yeah.
There's no clear favorite.
That kid's just, he's wired to win.
He is wired to win. He is
He is
going to
wired.
win. He is going to succeed. He succeeds in everything he does. I'm just saying for right now, everything that we've seen from him that was last year, I'm not taking that into account. That was rookie year. That was last year. This year's a whole new year. We talk about the sophomore slump. He hasn't had it yet. But I'm just saying, I think a lot of people now that they know what to expect with him, they're not going to give him an inch anymore.
Yeah, there's different expectations with him this year, and it's just, how does he handle it? And like I said, he's wired different. He's built different.
And
so
I also
we'll see.
don't think guys are going to race him like they're going to be like, "Oh, you're gonna do what you did to Fortner. We're going to do the same thing to you."
Let me tell you one more thing before we move on here out of
I
this
got one
Deegan
other
Dangers.
thing, too.
Okay, all right. If y'all are upset with how much they shove Jett down our throats, Deegan's going to be twice as bad here. Because have you noticed how
But do you think he's going to have to win for that
much-
to happen though?
Nope.
What if he doesn't win?
Doesn't matter.
You think so?
Doesn't
think it
matter.
matters.
Feld is.
That'll make no
They
sense.
are smart enough to know the following
I think
he
it
has.
changes, dude. Like Danica Patrick didn't win, and look how all over NASCAR she was.
I'm just saying they're not
Okay.
dumb. They know the following.
We'll put that aside.
The Decker chick right now in the truck series.
Okay, anyway, but
They know the following. They know,
Yeah, I know.
what he brings here.
I bet you they
You're
see the TV
gonna-
numbers ever since he's come in.
You are going to see him more than Jett.
Oh,
When
yeah.
he goes to 450s, it's going to be him number 1 and Jett number 2 as far as who's getting on TV more.
Yeah.
That's why every time they get beat, though, you get the haters out there. Because I'm not a hating hater. I don't buy into the hype. Every time he loses, that's why everybody gets pumped up. Though
Thank
They
you for
don't.
saying that because that just pumped our numbers a little bit more.
What?
Because you think I'm not going to put that in the title?
Put what?
I'm not a hater. I just don't buy into the hype.
Oh,
Deegan
no.
Danger Zone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Also, last
Back,
thing
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
write that
really
down right now.
something I didn't realize that really correlates into his riding. Is how much he rode BMX and was doing tail whips and bar spins and 360s and all that stuff on a BMX bike,
Yeah.
which translates over to his bike skill.
Yeah.
How about that 360 foot plant to the rail on the fucking road?
Oh, that was nice.
That's
That's
sick.
some BMX shit.
Uh-huh.
That
nice.
comes from his BMX background,
Yeah.
100%.
Dude.
Your awareness while you're spinning around with a
Just
bike under you.
Snappy,
That was
quick
nice.
thinking on your feet.
Yeah, because if that had been McAdoo, that bike would have looped it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was impressive. And then just laser into that turn and rails it.
Didn't I feel like this is not even in the same comparison, but didn't Travis Baker back in the day, remember him?
Yeah, I remember the name.
Didn't he used to do BMX?
I don't know. Well, those guys all were like BMX racers, but like Deegan was more of like go to the skate park,
Oh,
do tail
okay.
whips
Yeah.
and 360s and bar spins and stuff.
You've been listening to a lot of Jace stuff too.
I mean, we see how it worked.
Well,
for
I just knew that, like
Yeah, I
watching
know.
him and
Look,
stuff.
we see how well that worked out for McGrath. So
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Cool
That's
Sealy.
been your
Yeah.
Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger
we'll
Zone.
continue to get flamed even when we're trying to give him credit.
Comment down below with your thoughts on that because I know you all will anyway. All right. Moving on. Pierce Brown, 5th.
Not in the
Not
brown.
in the Brown last night. Impressive.
New man.
Impressive.
I just sometimes when I watch him,
No, the
I
shoe
see,
will drop on him too.
I see how talented he is, and then I just see him the whole entire time behind Deegan, and I'm just like, "You're faster than him."
Oh boy.
What's up?
That's just one of
that's a
those
good
things where
clip.
you just get stuck in the pace.
Yeah.
That's all
I mean,
it
dude,
was.
I watched it. How many? I said this last year, like when he was battling Jett, like for the few laps when Jett was passing him. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be fine if he just has Jett Lawrence behind him the whole entire time. He can actually move forward. Anytime Jett passed him, he was like, "Phew,"
Yeah.
drop anchor.
Cody Schock, 6th. So
Holy
is Cody Schock
shit.
just a 4th to 9th place guy?
I mean, did you have him forward to back in the title?
Nope. Not at all.
Cody
I don't think
Shaw-
Club did either.
I am really
Club is just loving whoever their social or their media guy is over there. I can't think of his name right now. They talk about him all the time. He on the Pulp Review show. He is just loving this.
Yeah, I can just see, you guys won't get this reference. Maybe you will, but like you guys don't watch wrestling. I can just see Brandon Haas in a video and like the whole Enzo Lope things, and it just reminds me of Degeneration. He goes, "Let's get ready to suck it," because that's just Brandon Haas is just thinking, Enzo, suck it.
Yeah, Enzo, what's his deal? Is he just? He put some post up the other day, and it was
Bro,
in a
he was
different
supposed to-
language.
he was supposed to
I
be-
heard he had another surgery.
He was
and it
supposed to
still
be at
didn't go
Daytona.
well.
Here's the thing: if he doesn't race Supercross this year,
He's done, and Clay he ain't going back to club.
he
Nope.
done.
Nope.
Enzo's
He ain't
going-
going back to club.
Enzo's done. Enzo ain't getting a ride, which is very unfortunate because he
Hey.
did very well last year.
This is karma biting you
It
right
is.
in the fucking
It
ass.
is pretty
dude.
karma.
Hey man, don't burn bridges in a small sport.
No.
It's more like, yeah, I guess, he did burn the bridge. It was just like, man up and have an adult conversation.
Yeah,
with Brandon.
and that's really, it's like, it wouldn't have burned a bridge if you just been like, look, I have this
Yeah,
opportunity, I
I-
need to go take it.
Like, knowing what I know about Brandon, like through Denver and some of the guys that live there, it's like Brandon would be a stand-up guy. Like if Enzo went to him and was just like, look, man, I have a dream scenario opportunity here, like 1 year, like
yep.
you've given me everything I've gotten, give me one shot and I will be back. Or something. I don't know.
You know, one,
But instead of having your agent call and say, hey, I'm done, and
Yeah.
then never saying a word to him again,
you know who I feel more.
Yeah, it's
You know who I feel bad actually for though on that team. I really feel bad for Styles because that kid just cannot catch a break.
oh,
man.
him too? Yeah.
Yeah.
God, dude, I think he's gonna be out all of Supercross.
Yeah.
But Cody Shock, wow.
How about Jett Reynolds?
They're.
That whole situation.
I don't care about.
he should have won 2 titles.
Should have won 2 titles, bro.
He should have 2 titles.
Should have had 2 titles. He should have 5. You know, he's just a phenom. Him
Look,
and Ryder D should have 15 titles. By
I'm
now.
really pumped for Cody Shock here.
Outdoors.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, and outdoors I think it'll be better, so that's cool.
I hope they put him on a
Yeah.
450.
I hope they put Jeremy Martin on.
He's
a
not going on a 450. I told you Zach Osborne's riding a 450 with Phil.
I bet you Cody's on.
Jeremy Martin
way.
needs to ride that 450.
J Mart's supposed to be on a 450 outdoors.
Good.
16-man 450 team
They're
outdoors.
gonna have their
no
whole
250,
team is gonna- their whole
just
team's
everybody's
gonna be-
riding 450s.
I mean,
March
unless
Banks,
Jett Reynolds comes back and rides when he wins his title.
Maybe he's just gonna rebrand himself and go 450.
Hey, so your best friend Jalik gets 7th.
Hey, man, you know what? He held off old Max.
Mm-hmm. Does he have a kid?
Jalik? No.
No, I think he's just playing stepdad role.
Is that what that is?
I think so. I don't.
Wow,
know if that's
that's
or not.
weird.
Have you seen?
Well, because there's just a photo of
nothing
him and
wrong
his
with
chick
that. I do
walking
that
in,
also.
and
It's
there's
fine.
a
You're
child.
not- You're
yeah,
you're
that's
not
what I'm saying.
21.
I was asking people
You're not 21.
because
there's a child there, and I don't know if. Yeah, I don't think it's his. I don't know.
it's.
So Jalik's girlfriend has a kid?
I don't know because it's a walk-in
It was
pic
a
and it's
family,
Jalik,
yeah.
him or Jalik, a kid, and her.
Home life.
Home life. I don't know. I'm curious.
I mean,
about
good
it.
for the kid, man. Good for him.
Well,
It's
he
whatever.
Didn't know anything
I don't
about
really
that.
care.
So
It's just
his
strange. 'cause, yeah, I
girlfriend's
didn't-
dad is the lead singer of some super popular band or
Are you
something.
serious?
That's
It's
awesome.
God damn it! I don't know what it is.
You suck.
It's some old school popular band.
Was Jalik in the photo?
AC/DC.
Was Jalik?
No.
Was Jalik in this?
Metallica.
Was Jalik
Metallica.
in this photo wearing his trademark joggers?
No,
No,
he was in
hang on,
shorts.
I'm gonna
Oh, that's
find-
weird. Kid wears jogger.
Hot in Florida.
Kid wear joggers in 105-degree weather in the middle of
I'm gonna
summertime.
find it. I'm gonna find it. Matt just tweeted it.
No,
'cause
good
Matt
for
is-
Jalik though, man. He's just we said this all last year. He is just solid when he's healthy,
Yeah, and he's start dependent. If he would start in the front, he would be up front.
and he's gritty.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's gritty.
But like he can run the pace,
He can.
and he'll finish races. So
And hey, man, he can ride the widest bike on the planet Earth. We
Yeah.
saw that last year with Deegan at Hangtown.
Max Anstey 8th, terrible start.
Dude,
came
he
through.
cannot get a start in the
Nope.
main.
Who
Still got
had that
points
on your
lead.
bingo card? A 268 still got the.
a 268, and he's still
You
leading the
got the
points
red
by
plate?
1. Yeah,
He just cannot get a fucking start in the main to
I
save
do-
his life. He can't buy one.
he was praying for more rain yesterday. He's praying
so?
for this mutter, and I mean, he won the one last year.
I wonder what, like, I know he's going to do the WSX thing and do the Australian thing,
Mm-hmm.
but now because we know, like, the Australia series always, but now that we know that WSX isn't going to start until the fall, I really wonder what he's going to do come the end of Supercross.
I don't know.
If he's just going to hang out or if he's just going to keep grinding out
I don't
Supercross.
think he wants. I don't
Because
think
team's
he
not
wants
going
to ride.
outdoors.
No,
No, and the only way he does ever ride outdoors again is if it's on a 450. He's not riding a 250.
He probably just stays in shape for Supercross, man. It probably just turns it back a little bit, just stays in shape for it, cranks it up a couple weeks before, call it a day.
That would fucking suck having to ride Supercross all year.
I'm gonna find this, dude.
Michigan's own Marshall Welton.
Yo, how about that LCQ for a minute?
All Michigan boys,
Yeah.
Blackmer out of nowhere.
How about that LCQ for a minute? I was like, man, we're just motoing down at Baja.
We are.
Just motoing down.
I thought it was a Baja.
Like, yo, you got Welton out front. Like,
Yep.
you got Blackmer in
Blackmer,
second. Kessler's
Kessler.
working his way through the pack. Like, damn.
Kessler did really well in the main too. which
I need to talk to Kessler. I need
Oh,
to
you're
text
going to be able
him.
to get a hold of him?
I'm going to text him. I mean, it'll take me 3 days, but I'm going to text him and see like what the deal is with going from 450 to 250.
I mean, he looks better on the 250.
Well, like, was this the plan or
Supercross-wise, he looks better on the 250. Outdoors, 450 all the time.
Was he riding the 250 in 450 for the first? Okay, I'm going to text him this week.
But
and
hey,
see.
man, good on Jace. Marshall, once again, kind of like we talked about last week. Marshall is just solid.
Yeah.
People kind of forget about him because he doesn't have this overwhelming story. But he's been solid ever since he went pro, whether it be when he was over in Europe in EMX2 and when he was in Canada, when he did the whole thing when Barsha was funding his ride over here. Like, dude,
had some really good starts.
Marshall is just...
He's up front all the time.
And like I said, anybody that gives that kid a ride, he's going to put in the work.
Yep. Dax Bennett, 10th place.
He's been very surprising to me,
Fastest
really.
qualifier?
Like showing some speed. Like he's been
He's
surprising.
got speed, yeah.
I'm not as...
Is it that
Good
burn
on
on his neck or a permanent hickey?
I am not. I understand the last 2 weeks have been up and down with what has happened in the heat races and stuff. He's got speed. I don't really know.
Hey. Let me tell you the game plan I came up with for him yesterday.
Okay, because I'm not as optimistic as you guys right now.
You make yourself very, very comfortable because you're already boys with Deegan, just being Deegan's number 2 guy, and you just follow him his whole career because you will get fucking paid and be on nothing but good teams. But if you can learn to test for him to make his life a little bit easier, and you're cool with just being the second string guy on the team to him, no problem. Dude, you will make a shit ton of money. You will ride dirt bikes as long as he is healthy. And let's face it, I mean, dude, it's like Ricky Bobby and what's his nuts there, dude. And then let's face it, then if something happens, he gets hurt in a year, I mean, you're the guy then. You're the guy. And I mean, I don't see where it's a bad plan.
Just kind of...
I mean, think about it. You're going to get paid and ride sick bikes your entire career.
It just reminds me of like the RV Jake Weimer dynamic when RV was out there winning, doing whatever, and then he retired and Weimer was still racing. And RV's just like, yeah, dude, like Jake, like you should be doing like better.
Dude, I can't find
Jake
this. I'm going
said,
deep.
Jake said those Kawasaki's he was on were the worst fucking bikes ever.
Yeah, they were. And somehow RV fucking won 6 titles on them.
Which Cowies were the worst?
All of them.
Yeah, he hated those bikes.
2011
Yeah.
2011 to 2014.
Weimer. Said
well, because they gave him a Villapoto setting.
They were
he was probably
absolutely the worst.
Yeah, it would
bikes
also
ever.
suck having to fucking ride with a monster that is Ryan Villapoto every day and just get
Like
worked.
I said, if I'm Dax Bennett,
Yeah.
bro, you just get yourself really comfortable with being the number 2 dude who will just slay other people. And you just follow your homie around and just do that shit.
Has
dude.
his podium though already been the highlight? Like, is that been the highlight of the season?
Probably, I would assume it's
So, like,
he
where-
might podium again. It wouldn't surprise me,
Where on
but
a
for the most part, yes.
We're on a good day because I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The last 2 mains haven't started off great, bad starts.
Yeah.
In the LCQ, whatever.
Yep.
Where on a good day are we putting Dax?
5 to 9, 5 to 10. I think
He's better than Jalik? Think he's better than Jalik in the main?
I think he's right in there.
I lost it. I don't know who.
I think he's right in there.
Put him around Cody Shock. Which is a wild thing to say.
You're gonna put him around Cody Shock. You're
Yeah.
gonna put it. Yeah. I mean,
Cody's what? Where's Cody at in the points right
I
now?
was gonna say. I think you could. I think you could interchange all those guys from him all the way up to, like Pierce Brown in 5th. Yeah. So 5 to 10.
Here's a video of Justin Hill just weeding his shit. Oh, damn.
Oh
That's
boy.
what happened to Anderson and Hill.
This is great radio.
Great, I'm still
Sorry,
talking to you.
but Hill got landed on, and it's Fast Freddy, the fastest guy during the week.
Fastest guy during the weekend
Oh my
Supercross track.
god,
Look
you
at
two
this.
are
Hang on.
unbelievable.
Keep going.
All right, Henry Miller, 11th.
Just doing Henry Miller.
Is Henry
things.
Miller just the 11th place guy this year in
Henry
this
Miller
class?
is fucking solid.
He's good, dude. He's like a Jeremy Hand.
Who would have thought we'd ever say that?
Oh, no, I ruined it.
Oh no, I ruined it. Okay.
Stalled and took a frame right
that's
to the
awesome.
dome.
Jeremy Martin comes back 12th
Feeling saucy in that heat race, bro.
and crashes.
And then we
Well,
just
until his body couldn't react
and
fast
then we,
enough.
yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
man. There you go.
Hey.
Like, bro, you started to lean in on the face of a roller, and your body just went no bueno.
when you get into your you're not in your 30s yet, right?
No, he's got a birthday coming up this week.
29th next Sunday.
Oh yeah, you're not in your 30s yet. You'll understand
gotta
once
get
you
my
hit
license
30,
renewed.
everything
Shit.
slows down for you.
You're like, yo, my brain's telling me to lean in.
My frontal,
Fucking lean in.
my frontal lobe developing.
Yeah, your frontal lobe will develop. Things will slow down. You'll be on my pace then.
I'll tell you what, though.
Welcome to the club.
I'll tell you what.
Should I flip my grips upside down?
Yeah, probably. Those are not upside down.
Roll the
Right
bars
side up.
forward a little
I'm
bit.
telling you, it looks like one's upside
Yo,
down and the other one
run
isn't.
your-
You guys laugh.
Hang on, I'm gonna go
You guys
investigate.
laugh.
Like,
you
yo,
guys
go
laugh till we go to the races and everybody's grips are like that.
Put that kill switch upside down. Yo, honestly though,
I gotta put it on my Instagram.
Jesus.
he was looking really, really good though up until that point in that heat race. Like I was even
Yeah.
shocked that he was out front.
Yeah. No, that was that was okay. I was
I mean,
interested
honestly, for him
see
to
him
make
back.
the main, for him to
Yeah.
even make the main was shocking.
Yeah. Nick Romano 13th.
He just got to finish, man. He's just got to put in laps.
I heard a rumor that he is talking to PC already. He wants out.
Good.
Romano, he wants to go kitchen route.
So whose ride is he gonna?
I like it.
I don't know. I've
He's
just
gonna
heard
take Max Bowen's ride.
I ask how we knew this, and it was through a thing, and then he followed this thing, and blah 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 blah, and just piecing stuff together, kind of. But it doesn't
Well,
surprise me
here's the thing.
because
I just DM him. He's pretty active on Instagram.
yeah, DM him.
He's,
See what happens.
well,
Be
I
like,
mean,
bro, heard you're talking to PC. Is this any truth?
Before he went to Star, he was a top team green rider, so that makes
He
sense.
was. He was.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, okay? And Jace
like-
talked about this, and he's going to say, I'm just copying Jace, but whatever, that's like an NFL team there, and like the cream rises to the top, and if you're not that guy who's being the hammer instead of the nail down there during practice all week when you're scrimmaging, like how much fun is
Dude,
that?
here's the thing. It's like we said about Levi, though. Levi, he doesn't want to grind out
Yeah.
motos every day. He wants to go do his motos when he has to.
Yep.
Go do his testing, do his training, and then come in mentally and physically refreshed on the weekends. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
You know?
Nope.
It's like I don't blame these dudes. Like I understand the Star program and the whole just the philosophy has worked, but it's not working no more.
It works, but you just have to be in that mindset.
And a lot of kids in the 250 class are not in that mindset.
No.
You think people are?
And at a certain point, it's going to beat you down.
I think the generations are getting too soft for the star program.
well,
I don't think
you know,
that's
when
the
Bobby
case.
Regan
I just
goes
think
away.
it's built for a specific person, kind of
Chill on
like
my boy Bobby, dude.
kind of like
Deegan.
Alden Baker's program was built for a specific person.
it's
Kind of
just the
like
times, dude.
Lawrence.
Things evolve and
things
change
evolve,
and-
things change, and guys are different.
But let's look at the guys right now that are at Star and what's going on with them. So Enzo's hurt. Mm-hmm. Styles is hurt. Mm-hmm. Romano's been hurt pretty much his entire pro career.
Yep.
Nate always gets hurt when he crashes.
Yep.
Smitty always gets hurt when he crashes.
Yep.
Who else am I missing outside of Deegan be the next person? And Dax is not far enough in his career.
Jay Coop's on that program.
Jay
still.
Coop was the only person that you could say through the 250 stuff didn't go up and down as far as injuries.
Grind it out. Yeah.
But everybody else, but that's kind of Jay Coop's motto, you know, New Yorker, whatever, gritty. But they all get hurt, and then now they're all gone.
He got a Louis bag.
yeah, I guess nobody else has really
I got a
gone through
Louis
that.
bag too.
Do you?
No, I said I would have.
Oh well.
I
he's got
guess.
one.
Well, AP
blue.
went to the
It's cool.
450 program and got hurt, but he made it through the 250 program pretty decently well.
Yeah,
But that
I
was
don't know.
before the whole. That was before the whole grind it out every moto.
Before the compound deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
that. So I just, dude, that's not that program is not meant for 250 kids. It's meant for 450 guys, not 250 kids. 250 kids still want to be kids. Mm-hmm. Deegan might be the exception, but that's only because Deegan's life outside of riding a dirt bike is nothing like a teenager's life.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I would be
he's still got money.
play a lot of theoretical here, but I would want to be. What do they call the spot where Grondel's on? What is that?
Sandbox.
Sandbox. Like I think that would be a good program. A lot of mature guys. You got your Roczens around you, your Sextons. I think it's really doing dividends for Kitchen. Mm-hmm. I think that's where I'd want to be.
And you've got old school Tomac just by himself in the hills of fucking Colorado grinding.
grinding. But I
Just
mean, now a
grinding.
bunch of amateur kids are moving to the dog pound, so
Yeah, that's an interesting.
they got a
thing
whole lot.
too.
They got a whole lot of kids down there right now.
Who's going down there?
Well, Drew Adams is training down there now. The Gordon brothers were down there.
That's because they got to have guys to shit out, just like Ricky did back in the day.
Just the Lawrences just figuring out how to make a little more of a
I'll
revenue
tell you what, though. Drew Adams, that kid's...
He got tall, dude.
Yeah, he did.
He's like a Marchbanks, man.
He looked sketchy at the end of that, though.
Yeah, but he's going to be good.
We'll talk about that at the end, too.
But
Because
yeah.
I forgot we had that,
we'll
too.
get futures at the end. Who's next?
Kessler 14th.
Good for him.
Yep, that was a
Michigan
really
boy.
good ride.
That's
Yep.
his first ever Supercross main, I believe.
Thought he made...
He might have made...
I don't think he's ever made a main before.
I think you're right. I don't think he has. I think he's been close. I
think
think
he
he's always
has.
been like one out in the LCQ.
Hold on.
And he worked his way through to get in that spot.
Nashville 23.
Okay.
Oh, he did make that one.
Yep. Let's see. Is there any other ones?
I think that's it.
Him and
That's it.
Him
So-
and a kid I know, another local guy around here, Carter, just cruising around in a van, just doing like living the life, living the moto life.
Career best, baby.
Good for him.
They
Yep.
drove down to Texas, rode all week, and then
Yep.
he's wrenching for him. Like they're probably having a blast.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun.
Not a care in the world.
I wish I was 18 again.
Kessler's not 18, but
20.
Nick Romano just responded to you.
Did he?
what'd you say to him? Are you fucking kidding me? No way! Live right now!
On the show,
No,
man.
show- hey,
He's
show-
active on social.
Live
Pull
on
it
the
up. See what it
show.
says.
Yo,
Live on the show.
wait, don't
Don't say anything.
don't say
though.
anything.
Don't be blowing nothing out.
What do
He's
you
probably reading the comment you sent him before that. That
Can
was
you
something about
to the
sucking balls.
camera? Can you to the camera put the finger over the comment and just show that it's actually Romano?
No.
I mean, it is. Yeah, look.
Just
dude.
prove to the
I mean-
people it's.
I mean, that's Nick Romano.
no, prove to the camera that it's actually Nick
I
Romano
mean, that is.
because nobody's
that is
gonna.
Nick Romano right there
Oh.
responding to us live.
But we're not gonna tell you what he said.
I mean, he doesn't seem upset about it. He sent a laughing face.
That is
Where
funny.
did you hear that?
All right,
I'm gonna just say somebody on the internet.
that's funny though. That is crazy. That's wild. Hey man, hey dude.
Dude, that's the younger generation. They're active on social. Like, you can get guys to respond.
Anyway.
I think Romano's a stand-up kid.
Anyway, Hymus 15th.
Just we know he's got
Yeah,
it.
knee
Hey,
issue,
though,
whatever.
Hey, he was making Deegan work for it though, and that he raced in the main for about a
Yeah.
lap or two.
Yeah, but those conditions last night,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's gonna hit his knee, and then that's gonna be the end of that.
Well, and then we're about to go to a mud fest, so it's gonna get worse.
Brighton Carroll 16th.
Cut your hair, bro.
Look, so that was another guy that was in the LCQ. I felt like I was at the Baja Brawl. Brighton Carroll, Kessler, Blackmer, like all the dudes
Yeah.
that are at Baja ripping for the
Yeah.
ball. That was funny. That was within 5 minutes.
That was too.
That's impressive.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
hilarious. Like literally, it pops up on my iPad. Nick Romano. Nope.
What?
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch!
I feel like he's got a good sense of humor. I'd love to
Yeah.
talk some shit with him.
Yeah. Isaiah
I'm also
Clark
like, how
17th.
bored are you right now, though?
Yeah. Isaiah Clark 17th. Gage Linville 18th. Tyler Stepik
I didn't
19th.
even know
Good.
Stepik was in there.
It's great
Dominic
style. Love watching Stepik ride.
Dominic 30 20th. Garrett Hoffman 21st. And
Hoffman's another kid that
Wow, Wildcat, Lorenzo Lacurcio.
Wildcat Racing Lorenzo Lacrucio 22nd.
Hoffman's another kid that trains down there with Dylan and all them.
Yeah.
Is there any update on Lacurcio?
He finished 22nd.
Well, he fell off the bridge and they parked the mule in the middle of the track.
Is that what?
Is
Yeah.
there,
No, I
I
haven't
want
heard anything. I didn't even know that was him.
to know, is there any update on Hardy Munoz after fucking ragdolling himself in the
I
LCQ?
missed
Hardy
that
is
one
Hardy.
too, but that's,
God.
I mean,
Hardy
that's pretty
is
on
Hardy.
brand for Hardy.
It'd have been funny,
Oh,
though.
we didn't even talk about Dean Wilson in the 450, did we?
No, we asked what happened and nobody knew.
Oh, broken collarbone, I heard.
Who? Dino?
Dino.
I thought
He went down in the shitty rhythm.
didn't he. Hold on. Back up.
Well, that's cool. Good thing it's a send-off year for him.
Oh, he did finish 20th, I guess, behind, or right in front of Hunter and Justin Hill. So okay. Anything else 250 wise?
No, man. No, yeah.
All right, that has been your 250 race recap, brought to you by our friends at 50 Graphics. Again, 15%
Hang on,
off
I guess I gotta
your
see what all this
custom graphics kit there. Link in the description down below. Okay, let's wrap this up really quick with futures.
What did you respond to him? Some dumbass on the internet?
Yeah, I said no. I didn't say some dumbass. I just said somebody on the internet. So, anyway, futures talk. So, Casey Cochran's confidence just got shattered into oblivion last night by getting 5th place.
I didn't get the start I wanted.
Well, you know, if you wouldn't get dicked over by these rules that are fucking stupid, it would be better off.
Good thing they don't care about results on that team.
Dude. Do we see him next weekend?
Yeah, I assume so.
Because he's supposed to go pro, right?
Well, he's going to have to because, the other guy that everybody wanted to do
we
well.
didn't talk about that. Guillaume Perez breaks his femur in the middle of the week here.
Hey, I'll get you another one. 2 people on the same day broken femurs at the Baker compound.
Who?
Him and another privateer, Derek Leatherman.
No way.
Both of them had to get life flighted out.
No way.
Well, okay, so here's the thing is because you guys, I know you guys don't spend a lot of time on Vital, but Vital's like the one website I go to just to get a laugh.
No, we have something to do besides you.
Yeah, whatever. You guys are fucking on the internet more than I am. What are you talking about?
Dude, I'm just trying to make some money,
Yeah.
bro.
So it's the one website I go to just to get a laugh out of the bullshit.
Yes.
So I'm on there.
But every once in a while, there's a tidbit.
Yeah, there's a lot of smart dudes on there. It's just they don't post. So I'm on there, and all of a sudden I see this thing come across. Rider breaks femur at the Baker compound.
Yep.
And
that
I'm
was
like,
what was sent to me by about 3 different people.
I'm like, oh shit.
Who did it?
What the fuck?
He responded again, son. We're having a full-on conversation.
Good. Please
Okay,
continue.
so
Go
I'm
for
like,
it.
I'm like, oh boy, who it is? Because I'm just thinking, I'm like,
See if he wants to call in right now.
I'm like, oh shit. And all of a sudden somebody goes, yeah, I heard a factory rider, whatever, like broke their femur
Yeah.
or whatever. And then somebody goes, it wasn't like they posted the picture of the life flight. They're like, it wasn't a factory rider, it was a privateer. And then they like sourced the name and it was like, oh, it was Derek Leatherman. Like, who the fuck is Derek Leatherman? An hour later, I jump on Racer X. Guillaume Perez breaks femur. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Same day, same time
thing.
frame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, ooh, that's not good.
Should probably change that section.
Yeah, we should probably change that section. And yeah.
So, okay, so Cochran goes pro next week for
Well,
Mutter for his
yeah.
first one. Exciting. Like I said, I feel bad for the poor kid of having to race last night and then just getting shit on because
Here's the thing.
he was
man.
fastest qualifier. So
Yeah,
I guess
and
if
we
you
know,
want to
and we
take
know
a
he's got
positive.
speed to do well, so it's not like it's going to be a bust.
Yeah, that Towers crash was a carbon copy of Deegan's.
Towers has got to be hating life right now because he's not going to have that ride for too much longer.
You don't think so?
Well, don't you remember from our friend at Chicago that he basically was on the Dax situation? He's got to prove
that's
himself.
true, yeah. Mhm.
Well, he hasn't proved himself so far.
I don't know. He won the first one.
Oh, he didn't. Cole Davies did.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
He battled with
Shit,
Cole Davies.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah, man, you pull another one of these,
You think Cole Davies ends up staying?
I hope so, man. Kid's good. Kid needs to work on his interview skills.
He does.
But here's
that
the thing.
first one was really rough. Last night was better.
Well, here's the thing. The
But-
only reason I say that is, dude, you're
But-
proving to you that you're actually good enough to be on the box every time.
Daniel Blair will
Just-
work with him.
Davies kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's
I
good.
mean, he almost won that shit late after
did.
Adams was just having a full meltdown.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on with Drew. If he was having an electrical issue, a clutch issue. If it was a clutch issue, he didn't know it.
The stalls were unbelievable.
I think it was an electrical issue. It was too.
Yeah,
Had
I
to
was a
have
little
been.
nervous that we were going to get a bike shut off
I'm like,
during an
ooh,
inopportune
not the
time.
not the track I want my bike to cut out on.
Yeah, I was just blown away at how tall he's gotten over the last year.
Yeah.
Dude, he's good and
Young.
15. 15.
He's only 15?
He's only 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Dan Truman saying a long time ago, like, just wait.
Well, here's the thing.
What is Dan Truman's real job? I mean, I know
I
he
don't
works
know.
for
It sounds-
Get.
He put
but
some
it
numbers in
sounds-
it, Get, and he's the man friend to everybody else.
I know, it sounds pretty wide open for me.
He is always just like around the Lawrences.
Well, Truman's been around for a long time.
I know.
He was also a good rider in his own right back in the day.
I know. It's just super interesting that he's like. I mean, looks like he's running the fan zone. Then he's like on the podium with them, like goggles, whatever, shirts, whatever. Like I don't know. It's super interesting.
But to carry on Drew Adams, Kyle's got a good one in him though, because he already proved last year that like he is the top dog over there because he was putting the beat down on Janik and Enzo Timmerman.
Oh, Janik's
got,
he's already can't stay healthy, and he's
which sucks, dude. Because I'll say this again, that kid's got so much talent.
yeah.
God, he's fast. But no, hey man, like we're seeing a few of these kids that are like going to be there. Like, dude, Adams, like he's gonna be pro next year more than likely, outside of a setback.
I don't know.
Wait,
man.
hold
they need
on.
to wait on these guys.
Hold on. Is he a B racer?
No, he's A now.
Okay.
He's A.
He went to A at 15 years old, huh?
Oh, and he's gonna put the smack down.
Is that a response already?
I bet he wins everything this year as far as amateurs go.
My next question is gonna be, look, man to man, thoughts on McAdoo's unit?
If you ask an 18-year-old kid what another man's penis looks like, I'm gonna slap you.
ask a minor that, bro.
Is he a minor?
He's 15, right?
Oh no, he's talking about
We're not
Romano.
talking about Drew
Oh.
Adams.
Oh,
Don't ask Romano
sorry, I
that.
missed that. I was reading.
We're talking about Vic Romano. Everybody
Oh.
loves Raymond.
Oh my
Anyways,
God. Okay. Anything else you two want to talk about? I got a wicked headache right
Birmingham's
now.
going to be interesting. If it's
I
a mudder.
know. I just looked at it. It's definitely raining Friday. Saturday seems to be up in the air. It says
But
40%.
I think it's going to rain so much on
I mean,
Friday.
they'll build it and cover it. Fun fact: did find a video of this guy doing. He went in and followed behind him doing a track build for Monster Jam at Snapdragon. So Supercross uses a whole bunch. That he's responding. Uses a whole bunch more dirt than what Monster Jam does. So they had the Supercross there. He was this year, right? So they had the Supercross. They used 35 to 40 truckloads more dirt in that stadium than what the Monster Jam uses. And then it was cool because he was like showing the holes where they dug it out of the parking lot. And then was showing them like doing the build, doing the loadout and stuff. And there's actually with them, and I don't know how it is with Supercross, there's actually a different crew that comes in and takes up the road base and the plywood and stuff. Like they just dig it down to the road base that's just over the plywood or the plastic sheets or whatever. And then there's another group comes in and takes that stuff out and gets the stadium reset back to it. So it was super interesting because
Monster Jam has like a 2-tier kind of deal.
What do you mean?
What's that? 2 different crews kind of thing?
No. It was a full, like the Monster Jam crew does the Monster Jam track, and they do, like I said, the load in and load out,
and then
from
another
road
crew
base up, and then this is a completely another crew, and I don't know if they're associated with Monster Jam or not, or if it's just
they definitely don't do that
stadium by stadium.
Dirtworks does it all. Pretty sure.
I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to like ask Alex or something if they do the road base and stuff, or if they're like Monster Jam where they just unload it down to the road base, and then another group comes in that does that. Which maybe there is a group that follows behind, a Feld group that follows behind and just does road basing, the plastic plywood road base stuff. Because that would make sense, because that's got to be way, way, way more accurate than what we do with the other stuff. But that was still cool, even though like I'm not that into Monster Jam, but it was cool to really see everything that they do too, and see them loaded out, loaded in, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It was interesting that we use that much more dirt than them, also, because you would think that they use a ton because they have huge obstacles. But
guys, the GP's next weekend. The GPs are next weekend. I'm so excited.
You got the package? You paid for it?
No, I just watch it on CBS Sports. I used to have it, but I'm not going to pay what they want for it anymore. It's fucking stupid.
I watch the highlights.
I was going to say, give me that password.
No, I watch CBS Sports.
Let's share passwords.
So I'm so excited. GP start next weekend.
Yeah, it's
Who you got?
For the 450s, both?
Both, I guess. I'm not really in, like
450s, either Hurlings or Geyser, but Hurlings, and 250s is literally the most wide open. But I think Saban Langenfelder.
I think the sewer thing's kind of interesting. How do you feel about that?
He's really good on that Cowie, man, but I hear his transition to getting that bike where he wants it to be is not great.
You think Hurlings is going to come back from this injury and just...
He already beat everybody at Hawkstone.
Is Hurlings getting to the point where...
VRM?
Like,
he's VRM, bro.
No,
he is
like
VRM.
Oh, boy.
Like Coach talks about where his body's weak and he's not be able to react.
He's already said that his body, like he feels strong, but when he takes those, even the small falls, even just like knife in the front, he's done so much damage to his body. It's kind of like a Pastrana thing. He's like, he's like, my bones, like I'm still physically fit, but he's like, they can't reduce the impact anymore, no matter how strong he is. And that would be something the coach would have to expand on, because like
I'm just praying he stays healthy, man.
Oh, if he stays healthy, he's gonna win.
That's all I'm praying for.
But
we need him healthy for that series.
Yeah. I think both classes are wide open, but I'm gonna go. I'm
even without him, like you got Renault coming in, and
Renault's really good. Koltenoff's on a
Garrett's is going on a 450. Right?
Garrett's is really good. Geyser's gonna be finally healthy. Fevra, Prado. But the 250 class is wide open. But I'm gonna go Sewer and Langenfelder, or not Sewer, but Hurlings and Langenfelder.
How about those Coonan brothers?
I think Lucas Coonan could literally beat anybody in the world on a 250, but the problem is every time he gets out front and gets a 10-second gap, he does
crashes, throws a fit. There's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of GP
Kid is
stuff.
He's legit, but he's got an issue. He's got to follow his other, if we're talking about on the Dazzy teammate thing, Jett Lawrence, and just manage gap. Just manage the gap. Because if he just manages the gap, he'd win everything.
Oh, you mean he's more Stu-esque of like he just wants to dominate
he does.
by a minute.
He does.
Okay,
because Sasha is definitely more like Jett and Hunter than Coonan is.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, anything else?
No, man.
All right. That's been episode number 262 here. Thanks to Nick Romano for responding to our DMs.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
like, look
pretty-
how
that's
stoked
pretty
we are
fucking
that Nick
cool.
Romano responded to us, you know?
It was just funny that you're like, oh, let's shoot him off a DM, and then I'm literally seeing him like Nick Romano's talking to us.
Only a bunch of grown ass men would get excited that it
Whatever, dude. All right. Thanks to our sponsors,
Thank you.
50 Grafx, Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Gutter Works, Isaac Nelson Designs, and Holster Co. Thanks to you boys for coming in.
for sure.
You guys coming next week?
Yeah.
You're out of town next weekend.
Yeah,
No,
maybe
no.
because Sunday morning, I don't know what you guys are doing, but getting to the go-kart track early on Sunday morning and my birthday, and we're fucking ripping karts Sunday morning. Grand Rapids Grand Prix. Get there as soon as they open.
I got to go to church and pray right now, dude.
He's got some
A
stuff.
lot. Yeah, I got
Do
some
you?
shit going on. I need to go pray. So we gotta do that.
then we
I'd
got
love
into-
to, but
Then we got Indy the next
other
weekend.
other shit's important.
yeah.
I'll be
so-
turning 30, hopefully.
So yeah, hopefully, please, God,
Yeah.
let's not have. I don't need that in my life either, man.
Then we got Indy the weekend after.
Yeah, and then Indy the weekend after that. So are you going to Indy?
I don't. We've been kind of tossing it around. I don't know yet.
But we're going.
We're going.
Ah,
We'll be there. So
when you going down? Friday night?
yeah, we're going at some point Friday. I don't
So we're
know.
going Friday afternoon since
Yeah,
found out
something like that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'll see. I don't.
Hopefully
know yet.
Kev's there.
So yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. I got to talk to him too because we don't have tickets yet.
Ah, man, what is he good?
Talk about that too here off camera. So all right. So yeah. So this has been episode 262 Daytona wrap up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Comment down below. What's up, everybody who loves Deegan, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, shout out Nick Romano.